What's going on, guys? What's going on? Good morning, good morning, good morning. So, quick look at CNBC. Not really a news trader or really care about the news, but sometimes just want to make sure that the world's not on fire before I start trading here. Not saying anything too significant. Peloton shares dropped 30%. What else is new, right? Stock hasn't good morning, good morning. Stock hasn't done anything since COVID. Foot Locker shares plunged 30%, slashes guidance, blames consumer softness. Nobody really cares. Abercrombie and Fitch making a comeback, soars 15%. Retailer blows past earnings. Arm going public. Okay, what's that? Amazon seeing some employees quit instead of moving to a new state. Nothing too much. So mainly just want to make sure stock futures rise as traders look ahead of Nvidia earnings. Mortgage demand from home buyers dropped to 28-year low. Yeah, so just want to basically make sure that the world's not on fire before I get started with the day. So pretty much essentially every day I'll come in, kind of check the news for any major headlines, any major world news. Nothing too significant. Doesn't really matter, right? I don't really trade Peloton. I'm not going to look for news plays on Foot Locker. I'm not going to do none of that stuff. So anyways, looking at the NQ futures right now. So what I'm looking at is the hourly chart. So this is how I'm going to start off looking at the market, right? So we got 10 minutes before the open starts here. You don't really got to do too much extensive research per se. When you come into the market, you just basically need to see where are we going to open up at, right? So if I just quickly take a look at the NQ futures, we've been pulling back in the overnight session. We came down into this level of support, which is going to be the 100 EMA. So I can see one touch here, two touch here. Now, if the NQ loses 14,957, that has room to come down to 14,939. So is there enough room for you to make, is there enough room for you to make money there? Sure, right? But this move could be 30 seconds. This move can be 5 minutes. This move can take 2 minutes. If you come into the day with the idea that, hey, if we take out these overnight session lows, we could very quickly drop to 14,939. So if you're going to scalp this, have that anticipation to sell here at this Bollinger Band where it's going to catch you as support. Now we could definitely overshoot the Bollinger Band and continue to drop down here, and if we do, you want to take profits quickly on the way down. That's how you play these kind of opening play breakouts. Now to the top side, I would like to see the NQ get over 1532. So if we can get over 1532, we're still going to have a lot of work to do. We've got a rejection spot here, right? If I do my drawing tool, we've got a rejection spot here. We've got some more rejection spots there. So if we pop quickly off the bell, I would expect a little bit of a pullback. And then, if the market's not going to sustain that, a little bit of a dead cat bounce. And then if we do lose this area, would be an area where I want to go short. Again, that's just how I'm going to quickly kind of analyze the NQ. So to the long side, am I really excited to just jump in right off the bell? No, not so much. I'd rather see a quick pop and then a fade. That would probably be the easier play, but again, we'll have to see how that plays out. Let's go ahead and look at the ES futures very quickly. So if we look at the ES futures, and let's take this old drawing off. If we look at the ES futures on the hourly chart, same kind of deal here. We're trapped between or below a lot of supply zones to the top side. So, realistically, we would have to start clearing out 44.20 and then 44.24 for us to really have, some open space here to kind of get into 44.35s. That's ultimately what I would like to see, is us take out the 44.25. But again, does that mean that the market's not going to move up a little bit off the bell? Of course not. But for us to really have any significant room, 44.25 needs to get taken out. And then to the downside, you're looking at 43.99, has room to 43.95. Anything below 43.95 could definitely wash out to 43.87. There might be a little bit something there, but just kind of keep in mind, yesterday's lows here that we were putting in at around 43.94, which is going to correlate with this Bollinger Band. So again, right off the bell, nothing too appetizing, right? Like the charts don't look great on the hourly time frame that something's looking ready to set up and we're going to make a shit ton of money right off the bell. So again, be patient, right? You don't have to rush right the first minute off the bell to look for something to trade. But anyways, let's go through a couple of stocks here. Looking at Nvidia, right? So Nvidia is kind of losing these pre-market lows right now, but we do have support sitting at around 455, and we've got some more support at 453. That's the hourly 50-day moving average. Now that's going to correlate with yesterday's lows. So what I would look for here is off the first 30 minutes, which is going to be your opening range, that first 30 minutes of the market. If Nvidia starts to take out 453, now again, I know that there's earnings today and these premiums are absolutely juiced. Me and the guys played this on Monday, and premiums were sitting at like at $2,000 a pop for in the money. So, you know, again, everyone's account size is differently. So if you can't really play Nvidia, maybe we can try to tailor that to AMD or something. But what I would be looking for is if we break through 453, I'll look for this in the first 30 minutes off the open. And if that's the case and we do stay below that after the first hour candle, which is 30 minutes after the market open, because we can see my hour candle is open as of now. It's open as of 6 a.m. So my hour candle now is going to close at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If we get below the 453, we might have some more room down. That next area of support is going to be 448. So definitely enough money to make money there. To the top side, we're going to need to, you know, at least clear out the pre-market highs, 464. We're 10 points away from that, anything significant. Now, again, you know, there's going to be some type of traders who, you know, will look at this bottom support here. They'll buy calls here with anticipation of going up, and you'll get very, very lucky, make 5, 6, 7, 8 points. But is there a setup? No, not really. There's not really a clear setup that you can take. It's just kind of, you're trying to time the bottom, right? And I'm not really one of those try to time the bottom type of guys. You know, I'll definitely look for, you know, some type of close within the first 30 minutes, at least over 462, and then for that area to get confirmed before I want to go long. So again, I'll be looking for the washout to 453, and I'll be looking for 462 to the top side before Nvidia starts to interest me. If I just quickly go over to AMD, same kind of deal here. AMD through pre-market lows actually looks pretty good. We've got more space down here to the Bollinger Band. So AMD 105.25. I definitely like the AMD 105.25. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the Discord here for all of you gold members. Again, for some of you guys who are new, who have never been on the live stream, if you guys want to join the Evolution Traders Discord, where you guys get access to this each and every single day, you know, definitely take us up on that. But 105.25. So the reason being, you know, we got 5 minutes here before the bell. So, you know, I'm going to kind of talk quickly here, but if we start to confirm the 105.20s here, that's going to correlate, you know, with yesterday's lows being 104.80. So definitely, you know, we could get that 20 to 30 cent drop here. It can kind of bounce back up. But what I'm really looking at here is we're trapped between the 5 and the 10-day moving average. Now, if this pops off the bell, we've got resistance here, and the resistance is going to be the 50 as well as the linear regression channel at 106.63. So even if we do lose the pre-market lows of 105.25 and then you kind of get trapped on the way back up, your max pain's about $1. Okay, your max pain's about $1 here to 106 and a half. It would have to clear out 106.60s before it really has room to stretch back up to the upside. So I do like that. I do like that level here on AMD. So, you know, that's definitely something to take a look at. Tesla, one of my favorite stocks to trade. Obviously, you guys know that. Those of you guys who trade with me in the room, Tesla, I look for this every day. So what we're looking at here on Tesla, big drop here in the pre-market since opening up. We fell all the way to the 50 on the 1 hour chart. So what I'm looking for here on this particular move, it's already taken out yesterday's lows. So what does that tell you, right? You know, stocks can't really move any lower or higher until we take out yesterday's lows or highs. Now, they've done it for us in the pre-market. We've lost yesterday's lows. So what could happen now? We could get a little bit of a bounce. Does that mean that I want to go long? No, we're still trapped below daily supply. We've got a long ways to go before taking out yesterday's highs at 240. Again, you know, you're going to have resistance at 229. You're going to have resistance at 230. You're going to have resistance at 231, 232. So when you're looking at playing, you know, like a little bit of a dead cat bounce off the open here, very, very risky, because we can stop at any one of these places and then immediately come crashing right back down. That's not something that I want to do, is get trapped this early in the morning. So what I look at in these particular situations is I do want to see a green bounce. I want to see a bounce into 229 or even 231. I'd like to see that within the first 30 minutes to an hour. And then I'd like to see it roll back down. And if we do lose 226.50s, I will definitely be short. So 226.50s is what I would be looking for if we confirm. Again, does that mean that I'm going to get short now? No, I need to see that confirm. I need to see a bounce like it's doing now. And I need to see it get, you know, I need to see it get denied somewhere at one of these supply zones, and then I need to see it lose the lows, 226.50s. So 226.50s, I'll get to the NQ right now in a minute. So if we look at the NQ, at or below the 200. Yeah, so you know, we're trading at, you know, like we've tested it in the overnight session or pre-market session. We've tested this 200 period moving average. You know, this is on the hourly, and if you're looking at the 5 minute, right? So if you look at the 5 minute, which is what you're talking about, you know, we're below the 200, right? So what I would be looking at here is, even though we're below this 200 on a 5 minute, you know, this can pop here. It can take out these pre-market highs. 1521 and 1528 would definitely be areas that I would be, you know, looking at for areas of rejection. Now I would need to see us really get over 1527, because notice the space here, right? Now, some of you guys who aren't in evolution traders, that don't really know how to use the big chart here, just the point I'm going to make, the easy point, look how congested this is, right? A lot of bullshit going on here. I don't really want to be going long or short when I've got a lot of bullshit, right? So what I want to see is, I want to see us get over 1527, and then I'll look at the empty space here. I'm interested in the long here, or I need to see us get below this 20 SMA, okay? And that's 14,993. So we're coming into the open here. So if we start to get below 14,993 and we close below that, I'll look for the setup going down to the short side on that. And that's how I'll kind of play the NQ. So market's open here, so let's see how we kind of digest here. Market's going to pull back a little bit into the 10. We can just you know, see how this kind of plays out here for at least a minute, right? At least a minute, and let's see how this plays out. But I'm definitely, as far as the option side, has my eyes on the AMD and Tesla. Getting a little bit of a spike here on Tesla, which is good. What I want to see for a short position, you know, from the NQ side of things here, you know, if the bulls are going to have any type of rally, we got to understand too, we're going to have Nvidia earnings coming up after the bell, so that could definitely sway things. But what I'm going to be definitely looking for here on, you know, from the bull side of things, is the bulls really need to, you know, they need to show that they can have a level of sustainability here and not get absolutely destroyed. So what we have now is NQ taking out these pre-market session highs here at around 1518. The 1518 mark was taken out. Look at where we stopped on the first go around, was the 1527. So now that we're popping through the 1527, what you would want to see is this first 5 minute candle close. Now I will make a note here for anyone who does trade futures. If you took a long position simply because we took out the pre-market high levels and you took it into 1522 or 1527, take your profits right now. Take your profits, stop what you're doing on the run up, and take your absolute profits, okay? Because what happens to a lot of traders is, you guys sit long in a move like this on an immediate spike off the bell, and guess what happens? 5 minutes later, this son of a bitch pulls all the way back down. Now you guys are trapped. So if you took a quick scalp because it took out these pre-market levels, for example, you're looking at the chart, we're trading over the 200, right? And we took out these pre-market levels and you got in somewhere here, take your profits now. Please collect your money and you know, go about your business. Because I see it happen all the time. The first initial move is a big pop, and then the second candle pulls all the way back and you give away all of those gains, and now you're left wondering, well, what the hell happened? And stocks was just going up, you know, the market was going up, why did it come back? First initial pop, yes, cleared out that supply, but if we want to see any kind of, you know, any kind of follow through, look at how it's already pulled back. If we want to see any kind of follow through, we need to see it take out the highs now. The opening range highs here on the 15-minute chart is 1537, around that area. That's definitely going to be your confirmation point with an intention of taking profits at 1554, okay? So 1554. But again, we have 3 minutes before this candle closes. So realistically, I have 3 minutes before I can even really do anything here on the NQ if I did not take this. Now, obviously, I'm talking to you guys. I didn't take this long position here just due to the fact that I didn't want to run into supply here as well as here. If I look at the hourly chart here on the NQ just to kind of see where that puts us, yeah, perfect. So what I would like to see here on that pop is no rush, right? Is no rush. Pulled all the way back down here into our linear regression channel this morning. Now we've popped higher, great. If we can get over the 1537 mark at the top of the hour here, or start to confirm this on next hours, depending if we move a little bit higher, this price could be adjusted. I would definitely be interested in a long position, and I'll keep you guys updated on that level as it gets closer to the top of the hour. We would ultimately be looking for a price target of 1570 on that next move there. Let's quickly take a look at the ES, because I know there's some ES traders in here and just want to kind of get a little bit of a look at that. So ES on the hourly chart, same kind of deal here. I'm interested in a short position below 43.99. We've got about 5 points worth of room to the downside there into that Bollinger Band. Again, to the top side, ES has got a lot more work to do to the top side for me. I'd like to see it get over 44.20, to be honest. But if we kind of look at the 5-minute chart, the 44.20 is going to match up exactly with my linear regression top supply here. So this blue line is that 44.20 resistance that I was looking at on the hourly chart. Again, look at the big spike here. Now we're starting to wick down. If definitely we lose 44.06 on a 5-minute time frame, we've got a little bit of a short opportunity there. Looking at this double bottom here to act as a little bit of support. And as we kind of go along through the trading day, I'll get off of this big chart because I know it can be confusing for some of you guys, but at least for the first 30 minutes, I like to see what my potential is. Meaning I like to know where all of my moving averages are and all of my supply zones are. As soon as we get past the 30 minutes, I will go to just the chart with the 20 and the 200, and I'll kind of start marking out my own supply and demand zones for the intraday levels. But at least for the first 30 minutes, I want to know exactly, precisely where the hell these levels of supply are at. So for me on the option side of things, I'm still watching Tesla to the downside. So Tesla through the lows. If we can get that confirmation, I will definitely be looking at. For anyone that is, I don't know if anyone took a scalp long on the ES, but if you did, I hope that you took profits once we broke this supply. Your next move on this is not going to be until we start taking out 44.16. 44.16. So again, just be careful on these. Just be careful on those first initial moves that are, big spikes like that. Because it's like this: if the market's going to continue to go, it's not this pop is not just going to last 5-10 minutes. It's gonna give you continuation after the first hour, right? Like right now, think about it as like you just ate a big meal, like your stomach is digesting, right? The first 30 minutes, you're just digesting. That's all you're doing. All we're doing is digesting yesterday's information. We're digesting, the pre-market action. We're digesting any news. We're digesting, where the market wants to feel. And typically within that first, that first 30 minutes, the market's kind of setting up that range, right? It's setting up the range for the day. And if we can confirm the range, whether that be to the top or to the bottom, generally speaking, that first move coming out of it is going to be a pretty decent move. At least in my experience over the past 6-7 years, we do get a nice follow through off that first initial move, which is why I'm always watching that first hour candle close. Again, ES is trying to test the high of day here. So the 44.16, if this gets confirmed before 7 a.m., right? If this gets confirmed before 7 a.m., you might have an opportunity for a scalp. Like maybe it's a little risky, but again, over 44.16, potentially, 2 or 3 handles, I would be looking to take profits before we touch the 44.20. That's if you want to be an aggressive scalper. Your stop loss, however, would have to be, at least 44.10. So you're giving up 5 handles here on this move, trying to target 2 or 3. I mean, is that a good risk to reward ratio? I don't know. Maybe it is for somebody. It doesn't mean that we're going to completely test a stop, but still. I'm going to quickly look at the option side of things. So AMD put in that low through the pre-market, right? Which is what I wanted to see here. So AMD put in that initial low, took out pre-market, right? Took out the pre-market lows. So what I would be looking for on AMD would be 105. On a new hour candle, if AMD starts taking out 105 to the downside, I'm interested in a short position there on AMD. Again, I won't even, start thinking about the longs until I see the first hour candle close. So that won't be for another 18 minutes. Take a look at Meta. Meta had a good pop over pre-market highs here. If I'm kind of looking at, you know, Meta taking out this 20 SMA over the 20 SMA, you know, on a out the gates kind of scalp here over 289, giving you about $1.50 here, running into supply. So we noticed this. I want you guys to kind of notice this, even if you guys don't even trade options or trade stocks. I just want you guys to see the chart here. So look at where Meta came from, right? Came from right down here on this demand zone. This demand zone is the 10 SMA on the 1 hour chart. This purple line here is the 20. Okay, so if people are going to play those like pre-market breakouts or right off the bell, right, you can take this long. You can use a 1 bar stop below 287.65. Your entry would be somewhere around 289, so you're giving yourself about $1.50 risk. However, if you do take it, look at the next area of supply. Look at where we touch. You notice that? So if I kind of, you know, if I zoom in closer, I don't know how good it's showing up on the stream, but do we notice how we stopped here first time, guys? So if you notice how we're stopping here the first time, doesn't this give us a good idea as where we should be taking profits, right? Like, put yourself in this trade. Like if you guys took this trade over the 20 period moving average because we're taking out pre-market highs, should we be taking profits here at 291, right? Like think about it. Or should we be, you know, oblivious and blind and expect everything to continue to run higher, right? Like no. Like, you know, if Meta never prints a higher price than 291.20s and it pulls all the way back, should we be upset if we were holding along? How can we be upset, right? And I noticed that like a lot of times people will be upset that the move didn't go anymore. It's like you just got $1.50 off a stock. It hit a level of supply. Why are you upset? Well, I didn't know it was going to stop. Well, you know, that's the thing. You always have to assume that they're going to stop. Stocks are going to trade from supply to supply and demand to demand. It's very, very simple, right? So when you break one area of supply, quotation marks 20 SMA, you're going to trade up to the next area of supply, quotation marks, whatever the hell this is. This is 100 simple and 100 EMA. So if we start to break that, what's our next level of supply by just looking at this chart? Potentially we can trade up to 293, which is the upper Bollinger Band. Okay. So again, that's how you read this chart. Coming back to my stock Tesla here. So Tesla on the hourly chart is being rejected at the 10. So you notice this wick, we clear out the 5 SMA, trade right to the 10. Now we pull back. So the first move here is pulling back. I'm still looking at the pre-market lows here on Tesla. The 226.5 area is what I will be looking for. We've got a lot of room down to 221. Does it have to get there? No, but I only look to take $1 or $2 off this thing anyways. That's more than enough for me. Take a look at the big apple here. Take a bite out of the apple. So if we look at Apple, same deal here. You know, taking out the pre-market highs, right? You notice how Apple took out its pre-market highs here at 178.43. Look at where it traded to. Traded to the 200 EMA, which is our top supply here. Broke it, overshot it. So for example, if you got in on Apple long over pre-market highs, 178.43, traded all the way up to 179.30, you almost took 80 to 90 cents within 5 minutes, and now we're pulling back. So here's a big you know, like kind of note for everyone. As you're trading these opening range breakouts, whether it's a pre-market high break or the opening 5-minute break or, you know, previous day break, as you're trading them, you have to be taking profits into supply. So for example, I trade 10 contracts on Tesla and Nvidia. On Apple, I might trade 12 to 15 just because the premium's a little bit cheaper. If I take this high, this break over pre-market highs at 178.43, I'm selling half size here immediately at 178.92. I don't give a shit, right? I'm selling half size. I'm going to lock in those profits. I'm going to hold runners to see if we break. If we break, right? If we break, then I'll sell on the next little run up. And then I'll get down to maybe 2 or 3 contracts. And right now I'll still be holding about 2 or 3 contracts to see if the next candle on the hour can confirm the highs of 179.28. That's how I'll play that. So again, you know, Apple's, you know, going to hold the NQ up. It's a big weight in the NQ. So if you kind of come over to the NQ here and see what NQ is doing, look at the NQ kind of hold its top range here. Again, there's no real short position, you know, for a big macro intraday level until we break down below 14,957. So definitely keep that in mind. And what we're looking for come, you know, 15 minutes from now was a confirmation over 1539 on the NQ. That's our opening hours highs. So, you know, just come back to Tesla, right? Because I definitely want to keep my eyes on it, because when this thing moves, it moves. And it is, you know, my number one stock to trade here. So what I'm looking at here on Tesla is, yes, we're pushing a little bit higher, trying to base out here, creating a little bit of a flag pattern, but we're being rejected under this last breakdown spot here in the pre-market. It's a linear regression channel 231. This area is going to need to hold the bulls back here. If we start getting over this, you know, maybe 232.88 would be the next pit stop here on Tesla, which would be still completely fine. Again, my short never changes. My short is still below the pre-market lows here, with anticipation of coming down somewhere, you know, to the 225 area. And if Tesla wants to continue to push higher, what you would be looking for if you're looking for a long is in 15 minutes, when this new hour candle opens up, you have room from 232.50 to 234. So that's $1.50. What I want you guys to notice in this particular situation here is you don't have a whole lot of room, but you've got enough. If you're quick, some people are not quick, right? They're not very good at getting in, you know, loading up the contracts. They're fumbling around with what strikes. Guys, I play in the money, right? So if the stock price is 231, I'm going to be playing as close to, if I'm going long, I'm playing as close to 231 as possible, which for me might be 230s at around $500 a pop, or it might be 232.50s, right? So if my potential is 233.89, then maybe I'll go 232.50s. They're trading around $400, and I'll take 10 of those sons of bitches. And if I get $1 on them, I make 15%, you know, 18%, 16%. That's going to be great. All right. If you guys are watching any tickers, throw them in chat. Doesn't really matter. Just throw them in the chat, and I can zoom through them, because I will have my eyes on the stocks that I do trade mostly. But if you guys want to see something else and you guys want to quickly get a level on it, just throw it in the chat. Throw it in the chat. Here's another little setup that a lot of people can take as well, right? It's more of an aggressive setup. Again, don't get me wrong, this comes with levels of experience, but if you look at Tesla in the pre-market on the hour chart, it pulled back into its 50 SMA, and then at 5 a.m. my time, it held and put up this little body candle here. Now the low wick of this little body candle is 226.80. The top wick on this little body candle is 220 or 228.60, right? So you're looking at about, you know, $1.50, $1.70 risk here. What you could have done is on the opening candle, right? That pre-market opening candle, depending on if you play options or equities. Obviously, if you play equities, you can take it sooner. Options, you have to wait till the market opens. But you can take a long here, right? Even though we're under supply, and just use this as a hard stop, right? So you can use this as a hard stop. This is a valid entry, right? That's your hard stop. This would be your entry here, and you would just be selling into these levels of supply with anticipation of, I'm treating this as a scalp. If I can get a little cash flow on it, I'm just going to get the hell out of it, right? And, you know, obviously from 227 to 232, it's moved up $5. So, you know, there's some people out there that make money that way. You know, I've done it in the past, but again, you know, I'm coming off of a good first 2 days here, so I don't really need to push it. That's another thing too. You know, if you've had a good Monday, you've had a good Tuesday, you know, you don't have to force anything. You know, really sit back and get your spot. You know, if this was a Monday, you know, we're opening up to start the week, yeah, I might consider taking this scalp off the bell, see if I, you know, see how my luck is going to be, right? Because, you know, like anything, we don't know that it's going to do this. You know, it could have done this, right? So again, all we can control is where we're going to get out of the play. Tesla's continuing to push up here. I'm sure some of my guys in the room probably took Tesla long, because look at the first 5 minute candle here. in pre-market, right before the bell, it gave us a 20 play. So the opening candle was a confirmation at 229.40s, 229.50s. You could have used a 227.82 as your stop, and literally within 5 minutes off the bell, 229.40 to 232. That's a $3 move. Yeah, we've got bigs in the Evolution Discord. Take 220 off of AMD. Let's see the AMD. Yeah, so the AMD, same thing. Good pop here on the AMD to the upside. Look at the first 5-minute candle is a 20 play setup, getting over this 200, right? Look at this. This is a beautiful play. Great job, bigs. Beautiful play. So look at how the first 5-minute candle sets up over the 20 SMA, gives us a little indicator here. Again, I just use this to, you know, the indicators with the arrows on Thinkorswim, just so it draws my eyes to where we close. Next candle does close under the 20 SMA, however, never takes out your low of day stop. Okay, so you would still be sitting in this trade. And it goes from a price of taking out the 200 SMA on a 5-minute time frame, AMD 106, all the way up to a price of 107.30. So great little dollar move there on AMD. Hell of a play there. Hell of a play there. So what I'm looking at now is I don't want to now get stuck chasing with 10 minutes until the hour candle opens. So now for me personally, I need this hour candle to close before I can switch long, right? So if you guys started on the live stream, what was I looking at? I'm looking at short, which my short level on AMD is still 105. If at any point in time it gets there, I will take the short. But now with the market pushing higher, I got to switch my bias to long, and I need a confirmation of the first hour's highs. And I'll kind of show you guys what I'll be looking for as we get a little bit closer here to that top of the hour candle. Tesla came right into its 5-minute 200 SMA, pulled immediately back here. So what I'm looking for here on top of the hour for Tesla would be something over 233. 233 going from red to green. So Tesla's still down 125, 128. I'll be looking for Tesla red to green over 233 long, and a short setup below, something confirming below 229. Our candle will have room about $1 into the 20, and then over that to 236. So we can definitely keep an eye on that. So Andre's looking for AMD to confirm at 7 a.m. Go back to the futures for some of you guys over here. So look at the futures setting up very nicely here. This pop, what I do like here is look at this hour candle that we've got for me here. I'm looking for a confirmation over this hour candle's highs. Okay, so for those of you guys who are trading, you know, my 20 SMA strategy, you know, that last strategy came pre-market, came at 5:30 in the morning. So unless you were trading an hour before the market opened, you know, you didn't catch it. So what you're looking for now is the hour candle highs, which is going to be into this top channel. And let's see what if this puts in a new high here. So we're going to print a new high here on the NQ. We're going to print a new high here on the NQ, testing this Bollinger Band. Yeah, so I'm definitely looking at the 15.084 mark for the NQ long at the top of the hour. So if anyone trades futures, that's what you would be looking for to confirm here. 1582, 1580, yeah, around 1583. Then the next thing we have here is yesterday's highs, which is sitting at 15.118. Okay, so just so you guys can see that. Same thing with the ES here. If we can confirm this hour's highs, that's a long position. If we pull back, hold off on the shorts, see where we stop, and then see if we can confirm those highs. Amazon's actually going the opposite way. So we have everything going up and Amazon's pulling back. We can actually look at Amazon short if that's the high of day for the NQ. We can look at Amazon short through 133.32. Keep an eye on Amazon, guys. 133.22 if the market pulls. Second hour. NVIDIA rejected at its 20 SMA. So for NVIDIA, we would be looking at, I don't know if anyone wants to play on this earnings day today, but you know, NVIDIA 463.16 would need to confirm that before we can go long. So 463.16 short position, you know, it's got a lot of work to do. Tesla still trapped below supply. See that the only reason I don't like the Tesla long, even if it does confirm, I don't got a whole lot of room here, right? I don't have a whole lot of room. 233 to 233.80s is not a lot of room. Now we could, of course, we could break through this, but again, you know, I'd rather, you know, I would rather Tesla's top wick right now on this hour candle be like 236.50. And then confirm 236.50 and I'm all fucking in, right? I'm all in. From 236.50, my next supply zone's 240. That's more than enough space. But this here, you know, this 50, 60, 70 cents, that's not a whole lot of room for me. Again, 226.80s, 226.50s. Still looking for that short position if the market pulls here. You know, the bulls still have a lot of fucking work to do. We're still trading below, you know, if you look at the Qs, right? Look at the Qs, and I'm going to pull up the daily chart for everyone. Look at the Qs here, where we're at. We're still below the 50-day moving average. Who controls the 50-day moving average on the daily time frame? Bulls or bears? The bears. So the pulls are going to be more drastic than the pushes higher. It is what it is, right? That it is what it is. If you really want to see follow through the long side, pull up the triple Qs chart or the NASDAQ futures chart, whatever you want to, you know, look at. The Qs need to get over 366.60s before this market has any fucking room to stretch, right? That's it. If it doesn't get over 366.60s, expect up and back down and up and then all the way back down. You know, we got to take out the previous day's highs here before the market has any room to stretch here. So again, some people get excited. You make some money off the open here, taking out pre-market highs. That's all fucking fine. But again, be aware of where you're at on the macro chart. The macro chart, we're still in this little sort of dead cat bounce spot on a downtrend. Okay, we've been downtrending since, you know, this last period of distribution here, going back to July the 27th. Look at this red candle here, 4 days of distribution and then this immediate flush. So we've been flushing now for 3 weeks into an area of demand, which is good, which is why you're getting this dead cat bounce. If you notice this green box that I drew across here, this is taking us all the way back to around May and June, areas of support, right? So, you know, it's holding. That's good. That's what you want to see the bulls do. But as far as, you know, a scalping and a day trading point of view, we've got to get over 366.60s in order for us to really have some continuation on some of these pops that we've seen off the bell, like on Tesla, or these pops that we've seen on AMD, right? So, because if you look at AMD's daily chart, it's right at the 10. Okay, it's right at the 10. So we need to get over that before it has any room to go. The AMD long that our boy Biggs in the room was a nice long. So he's all out now of his AMD calls. Not a bad work day. Not a bad work day. He took the pre-market high break is what he's saying. So the pre-market high break was sitting here. Excuse me. Yeah, here, right? Pre-market high break is sitting at around 106.5, and we're currently trading at 107.50. So great move. Great move for him there. And if we notice why, can anyone in the chat, I know there's a few of you guys in here, if we took this 106.60s breakout, can anyone identify where we're going to look to take profits at? I mean, you don't have to know the level or exact price, but just use your eyes. Where would he be looking to take profits at on this move as it still continues to push higher? Where would we look to take profits at? At least on half size, you know, where? If we can't identify that, then we have problems. You know, don't be shy, guys. I mean, nobody wants to answer where we would take profits. I hope that's just because maybe we're listening at work, or, you know, not because we don't have an idea, but Okay, so I'll just continue to go on. We're gonna look at Tesla again. Tesla's still pushing over the, put in that high there, that 232.80s, room to the 234s. Not a whole lot of room there for the long. So we do have a level here. We do have a level here on the ES coming up here on this new hour candle, 44.25. 44.25. Keep an eye on that top of the hour. Keep an eye on that 44.25. Same thing with the NQ. Keep an eye on it. 15.117, 15.118, top of the hour. Still going to be watching Amazon 133.22 to the downside. There's that meta play we talked about here. Remember, I went over this play over that 20 SMA. 289s had room to 291. Son of a bitch is trading at 293. So take profits. If anyone, I mean, I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with, trading these, pre-market high breakouts, but if you did take the pre-market high break on Meta, please take profits. Never assume it's going to continue to go higher. You already busted through 2 areas of supply. From supply to supply, take your profits. Great trade, take your profits. Same thing with Google. Look at Google. Google over yesterday's highs at 130, put in a high at 132. Jeez, why didn't no one tell me about fucking Google, man? Wow. So the breakout spot here on Google was 130.40, up $2. That's a hell of a move. So if the market's going to continue to be strong, we want to see a pullback, 130.130s, or this rising hourly support here at 130.50. Not a whole lot of room on Tesla. AMD looking to confirm previous hours highs, 107.73, has room to 108. Not a lot of room. Netflix took off. What does AMD have on a daily chart? Yeah, see, AMD needs to get over this 108. You see that, guys? AMD needs to get over 108 before it really has room to stretch. This is a daily chart. 108 on AMD could definitely push back into the 109s. But I'd like to see it get over that first. Where does that put us on the hourly? Yeah, see, that doesn't, like, AMD still has to take out a few levels here before it really has room. Hasn't even taken out the previous hour's highs, so definitely keep an eye on that. Netflix, these guys are saying took off today. Netflix over pre-market highs, yeah, exploded here. So Netflix may be potentially over, what, 426? It's already up $12 on the day. Be careful. Hourly candles confirming the 20 SMA. That's not bad. So Netflix does have room to punch to 430. Let's see if we can get Netflix to pull back in here into 422 or confirm 426. If the market's going to continue higher, it's going to go. 426 on Netflix. Apple over 180. Apple's up $2. Apple's up $2. Moving $2 on Apple is like moving 10 on Tesla. So Apple over the pre-market highs at 178.50s was a great play. It's hugging its power trend 5 SMA here. Reversal candlestick here, 180.17 is the hour highs. Maybe if Apple pulls back into 179, good bounce spot if we can reclaim 179. So bounce into 179 and higher. Still be watching this Tesla over 232.90s, 233. See the way it's flagging up here? If it gets over that area, it's going to take out this 200 SMA here. And then it's going to really have some room to stretch. Amazon still, everything's trading at the top of its range, and we have Amazon trading at the bottom of its range. Be looking for Amazon still to that short side. And again, it's not because I'm a bear, not because I want to see the market go down. It's just setup, guys. I don't give a shit if stocks are going higher or lower. But if the market pulls, right, you have a stock like Amazon that didn't rally like everything else. So if the market starts to come back and Amazon starts to lose that 133.25 area, what do we think is going to happen here, right? So if you got a weak stock that's not participating, and if the overall market wants to go in that favor of the stock that wasn't participating, you know, so if I'm looking at the 133s, I'd be looking at the 133.50s. I'm looking at 133 strikes. Again, I'm always in the money here. Always right around the money. Keep an eye on the video over 463.15. 463.15. If they want to run this son of a bitch into earnings here, over 463.16 could definitely have some space. Let's see what these contracts are trading at. Juiced out of their minds, probably. So if I was to take 462.50s, it's looking at $2,200 a piece. 465s are 21. It's not even that big of a difference. You might as well take at the money's 462.50s. And if you got the account size to handle NVIDIA, definitely go, you know, with something at the money, 462.50s. Let's keep that on watch, and let's also keep the NQ so we can see what the overall market is doing. Keep an eye on that NQ over that 15117, guys. 15117 on the NQ. That's going to have room to push up into the 85s as well as the 90s. That would be taking out yesterday's highs. As of right now, a little bit of a double top here on the NQ, so we're going to really need to break. I hope you guys can see that. If you guys are trading the futures, notice this double top here that we're looking at. You know, on the 1 hour time frame, we got rejection here. We've got rejection here. A little bit of a double top. This pulls back. I'd like to see it pull back into 1535s and then push higher. That would be a nice move. Oh shit, you guys can't even see that. Now you guys can see that. Still watching this NVIDIA here, guys. 463.15s. There's the break. There's a break on our previous hour's highs on NQ as well. So previous hour's highs on NQ was broken. We're looking at the 15117 area to confirm next. And if it can start punching over 15117, we maybe got a little bit of room there. The ES took out 44.25s and put in a new high at 44.27, 44.28. Little three handle move there. Does have open space to fill. Market needs to continue to push here. If you want to see that follow through, the NVIDIA 463.16s is getting confirmed as well. That's the level we were looking at last hour's highs. Again, you know, I understand those contracts are a little bit much, but this son of a bitch moves. So you also had AMD confirm previous hours highs here, 107.72. We see how that works, guys. 107.72 into 108.50s. You're looking at about 30-40 cents there on that move. Hitting supply here at the 150 simple. So if anyone is long, if anyone was long on AMD, take your profits if you were long off the first hour candle, okay? If you just got into AMD and you're in on the first hour high confirmation, the 107.70s, go to your 5 minute. Let's look at our trailing and let's see where our top supply is. We're hitting top supply on a 5 minute frame at 108. Your support here is 107.65. Anything below 107.65, you're gonna have a, you know, a pretty drastic pullback. You're gonna need to see AMD get over 108.33. There's the NVIDIA pushing here. 464.40s. We're up $1.50 on this, guys. 464.30s, 464.60s. That entry was 463.16, guys. Fuck, I wish these contracts weren't juiced out of their fucking mind, man. I only took 4 contracts, guys. Shit. I'm gonna sell half here. So I'm going to sell half on that $1.50 push higher. So currently up 7% on contracts, cost me $22 a pop here. So currently locked in the bank around 275, looking for just a little bit more of a push here. Here's the next push on AMD, guys. Take your profits on this way up on AMD. If you did take AMD, guys, if you took AMD on that previous hour high break, take your profits on this push higher. Your breakout spot was 107.70s. We traded all the way up to 108.50s. That's an 80-cent move on a baby $100 stock. Your ATR, which means average true range on a 5-minute candle, is 40 cents. So we took 80 cents. That's a 2R, guys. That's a 2R on AMD here on confirming previous hours highs. And if I mark it out here, this is previous hours highs here. So look at the push here. Confirm the previous hours highs, putting in that new high here. I'm going to sell one more contract here on NVIDIA. Hell of a fucking move. Hell of a fucking move. So NVIDIA is taking out its pre-market highs here over the 465s, took out pre-market highs here on NVIDIA, punching higher, as well as AMD. So the semis are moving. Also, for those of you guys trading those futures, what was that level we were looking at, guys? The 15117, currently trading at 27s. Guys, 10 points. Take some fucking cash off the table, right? This level's here. It was marked out. It's not like it was, you know, just spoken, 2 seconds ago. We put it on there. We knew what the first hour's highs was, 15117. If it takes that out, go ahead and get long. It went up to 15130. So you got almost 20 points on that, 16 points, 17 points. I got to manage this fucking NVIDIA. $2,000 a contract here. I don't have time to be fucking messing around with this thing. I'm going to get out of this NVIDIA. Not saying that it's not going to push higher. I'm just going to get out of it. $2,200 a contract's too much fucking, it's too much potential downside. So $550 on 4 contracts, guys. I took the 462s, the 462.50s on that NVIDIA push. What was I looking for? Confirmation over previous hours highs. Where was previous hours highs? 463.16. What did we trade up to? 466. So $3. By the time I got in slippage, everything else, whatever, fucking fill times, maybe took $2 off the thing. Not a bad trade. Not a bad trade. Does anyone see, like, anyone who's in here watching, do we see why there was setups on AMD, there was setups on NVIDIA, there was setups on the NQ? Do we see that? Do we understand why we're taking that? I mean, you have the NQ still also pushing higher here. 15131 is the highs here. That breakout spot was 17s. So we're getting what, 16, 17 points, 17 handles, right? In a matter of 5 minutes. Fuck, it's a hell of a move. It's a hell of a move. What the hell is our Tesla doing here? Shit, Tesla confirmed as well. 233s went up to 233.60s. Not a lot, but it did go up. And we see why Tesla's getting stalled, guys. Remember what I was bringing up? There wasn't a lot of room in Tesla because even the taking out the previous. Okay, let me make a point here. So why did I take Tesla, even though or why would I not take Tesla when Tesla contracts are cheaper, but take the NVIDIA when the NVIDIA contracts are more expensive? Well, if we look at Tesla's data, hourly chart. If it confirmed the 1 hour chart, which it did, it only had room to punch into 233.50s from a price of 232.90s. So we're looking at 60 cents before we hit resistance, which you see here, right? Look at the purple line. Notice how the wick on the 1 hour chart hit the purple line and is pulling back. It doesn't mean that it's not going higher, but I'm saying that move, the scalp, like, because I'm a scalper, I'm a day trader, right? I'm looking to get in on these things and I'm looking to hold them 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds. It doesn't matter. My first potential is to the 20 SMA, and that's a 60 cent potential on the 20 SMA. So I don't feel confident taking a move for 60 cents, right? I just don't. Now, if we look at NVIDIA, yes, contracts are more expensive. Put that shit to the side. If we get over 433.16, right, we can see it here, right? Let me blow it up more. If we take out the opening range highs, we have potential to go where? Pre-market highs. Pre-market highs was 465. So that's $2, right? That's $2. So do I feel comfortable taking a trade with 60 cents worth of potential or $2? Yeah, no, you're good, Shift. You're good. As long as you can hear, whenever you get on the charts, whenever you're looking to trade, you can start to identify these things in on your own time. But notice that, guys, if you notice that Tesla, I trade every day if the stock permits me, right? So 233 room to 233.50s. Is there enough room there for me to make money? Not really, right? Because if it doesn't just break through 233.50s, which is a 20 SMA, I'm going to be screwed. Now on Nvidia, there was $2. So if I break those previous hours highs, I potentially can get $1. I can get $1.25. I can get $1.50, $2. And obviously we put in a little bit of a high here over that pre-market high level. You know, let's call it 466. So essentially at $3, right? $3. And look at Tesla, you know, as I say that, this thing's going to bite me in the ass and it'll be trading at 236. But I mean, it is what it is, right? Because I'm already out of Nvidia. So the point I'm making is, for my level of tolerance, for my level of how long I like to hold these trades, I don't like to hold them when I only have 60 cents worth of room and I maybe have to wait 30 minutes or 20 minutes or 10 minutes. But, you know, as I say that, you know, the market will always prove you wrong. Tesla will be trading at 236 in no time, guys. So if you did take the first hour high break on Tesla, congratulations, you're up about $1.25. Take profits on the way up. Your next supply zone is going to be 234.89s. And then if you are in this and holding runners, do me a favor. They will be selling into you at 236. Okay. They will be selling into you at 236. Don't ask any questions how I know. Just take your money. Okay. Take your money. You will get sold into. I have friends that are going to sell into, and I'm not talking like 100 shares, like guys who are trading 10,000 you know, share lots. They're going to sell into the 235s and 236s. Andre took the AMDs, beautiful trade. So the AMD was the other ones that we were looking at, guys. We notice AMD here. Notice the AMD 107.75 here, the first hour high break. You were going to run into resistance at around 108.7, and then your next potential was 108.80s. So if we break the 108.12s, we know we had potential to continue to run here to 108.80s. So you sell on the breakthrough, whether you're going to take half size here or you're going to sell into the next area of supply, you would sell there. But good trade there. Andre's been on a fucking hot streak lately. Any of you guys who are in Evolution Traders in the Discord, you know, listen to that guy. He knows what the fuck he's doing. So AMD, again, take profits into 108.80s, guys. Don't ask any questions. Just take profits in 108.80s, please. Futures, guys. Anyone actively trading futures? How are we looking, man? Don't be scared. Don't be scared. So we put in that initial high here to that, you know, the 30s, and we're pulling back a little bit to break even. So if you did have any runners, you guys should be stopped out here at break even. Let's see how the ES guys are looking over here. Same thing with you guys. You guys should be stopped out at break even. 44.25 was the level we were looking for. We traded to 44.29, so it only gave us about a 5-handle move there. Again, it depends on what you're looking for, how much you're looking for, but you know, that depends on your size. If you're trading one micro contract, yeah, I'm sure you probably did not sell at 4 handles. But again, if you're trading 5, maybe you did. If you're trading 1 mini, maybe you did, right? So, you know, if you just look at the 5-minute view on that, you know, technically it's still holding, you know, it's still holding your breakout spot. So again, you know, I've been talking a lot about these break and retest, right? So if you look at this situation from a whole, right, and I'll draw this out for you guys. If you look at the ES here, right, if our original breakout spot was here over this linear regression, or you took the first hour's highs here, we got the breakout, new high, pulled back to our breakout. What are we looking for? We're looking for this, okay? So I'll leave that on the screen for you guys, just so you guys can see that. Nvidia's Nvidia's putting in a new high of day here, guys. Nvidia's putting in a new high of day. What else do we got out there? What else was confirmed? Meta still needs to take out this Bollinger Band here at 293. Meta needs to take out 293.80s. So again, you know, leave that on there. If you took the break out spot of this top supply here at 44.21, I hope you took some profits. If you took the first hour high breakouts on the ES here, again, you know, 4 handles is not a lot, but again, you have to think about it. You know, depends on your position sizing, right? Again, I wish I knew what everyone's position sizing was, because someone who's playing, you know, 2 minis, right? Maybe you can take profits. Someone who's playing 1 micro, maybe you're thinking about stopping out. Again, you're still trading over your power trend, your 5, right? Your 5 SMA. Until we break this until we break this uptrend here and really start to close below the 5, you know, just respect the chart and let the damn thing do what it needs to do. Oh shit, what happened here? You know, just let it do what it needs to do. So that's what you're looking at, right? Breakout, back test, do we push higher? If we never push higher over you know, the ES's 44.29s, 44.30s, then I expect to pull back fully into 44.21s. So again, you know, look for the breakout here. So a lot of times for some of you guys who take these scalps and then you feel like, oh fuck, I barely got into this trade, and not automatically it's pulling back on me. There's no harm, no foul yet. We're still over the 5 SMA, okay? On a 5-minute time frame, just hold your fucking panties and relax a little bit here. You know, if anything, you're not gonna lose that much money if you do get stopped out at break even here. So, you know, hold your nuts a little bit, guys. Amazon was a lagger here. Let's see what it did. Amazon still holding the lows here, trying to work its way up. AMD was a beautiful move. First hour's highs 107.75, traded up to 108.65. It's a $1 move on Amazon, on AMD, guys. That's $100 stock, and you took $1 in less than, you know, 20 minutes. If you guys don't get fired up about that kind of shit, we got fucking problems, right? A lot of times guys get into these stocks and they, you know, they look at AMD and it's like, well, I got in and I've only made $1 on the move, you know, but Nvidia, you know, is up $5, you know, or $10 or whatever. You're trading $100 stock. You know, you're trading $100 stock. Nvidia is trading at $464. It's the hottest stock in the fucking market, right? So Nvidia's daily range here, guys, Nvidia's daily range is sitting at around $17 high to low swing. $17 high to low swing, right? So if this thing's gonna move up and down $15, $20, you're gonna get $3, $4, $5 quickly. When you're talking about something like AMD, right? Its high to low swing is $4.50 on a daily basis. $4.50. So how do you expect to make $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8 on a scalp if this whole thing only moves on a high to low swing $4.50, right? $4.50. Think about it. You took $1 off a stock that moves intraday, $4. It's almost taken 20. You took 25% of its whole daily move in one scalp. Again, I don't like the ES not really being able to break through. It did punch in at 44.30s. So if anyone was scared and anyone was concerned when you pulled back into break even, it gave you a second attempt to get the hell out of here for not a lot of damage, right? Not a lot of damage. So you still could have taken money on it, but again, be cautious here now. I don't like that it's not really confirming that level. Again, we're still trading over the 5, so be patient, right? Be patient. But I'm just saying, I don't like how it's not punching through there, right? I want it to break through. Like, I want it to break through. If it doesn't break through, well, then I can get out, or I can give it a little bit more space. But again, personally, I don't like that it didn't break through. Ah, look at the NQ. Put in a high now at 40, at the 46s, 44s, guys. Our spot was 15,117. I put it in, right, in Discord. Yeah, man. It's here. NQ 15118 long needs to confirm top of hour. Confirm top of hour went from 118 to 45s. and it never even took out your candle low, right? So again, look at, I gave a pivot for confirming the first hour's highs, okay? So some of you may be thinking, well, where was the stop? Go to the 5-minute time frame. Which candle would you be entering? Okay, the 7:10 candle confirmed the first hour's highs. So 7:10 Pacific Standard Time. Correlate that to your time zone. So if our entry candle is here breaking 15,117, 15,118, where's our stop? Guys, where's our stop? 1 bar stop, right? We're protected. Stop's here. Stop's there. Drag it across. Did we get stopped out on NQ? Or did we ride this son of a bitch for 15, 20 points? What did we do here, guys? You know, and if we didn't take this breakout, my question is why? And I don't want to hear that, oh, well, I don't know if you're going to be right. No, not me, guys. I'm not doing anything special here. I'm like a conductor, right? Like I'm not like the one pulling the strings here on what's going on. I'm following the charts. I'm trusting the charts. I'm not worried about nothing else. I'm not worried about, oh, well, what if we fall back down? What if it doesn't confirm? What if this? What if that? No. We don't have time for that. We're not in the business of what ifs. Look at the chart, mark your stop loss, take profits on the way up. If you're trading NQ, 10 handles, 15 handles, 20 handles, profits, 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 get out. If you want to make more off 10 handles, 15 handles, 20 handles, increase your size. So if you're playing 3 micros, play 4. If you're playing 1 mini and you can stomach it, play 2, right? Play 2. But again, on the end, on the ES, I would be okay with someone playing 1 mini. On the, if you're a newer trader, on the NQ, I'm not okay with a newer trader or someone who's not experienced yet or profitable yet playing 1 mini. Because sometimes, right, for example, on this play here, your stop loss from 29 down to 05 is a 25-point stop loss. Now, if you're thinking, oh my God, that's a lot of money, then don't play the NQ. How are we looking to make 20 points if we can't give up 20 points? You know, it's like I tell my options guys that all the time. If you want to make $1.50, $2, if you want to make $1 on AMD, for example, well, you better be prepared to lose $1. If you want to make $2 or $3 on Nvidia, you better damn sure be prepared to lose $1.50, $2. So if you want to make 20 points on the NQ, guys, you got to at least give it 1 bar. Like you got to give it the candle you're getting into to see if it's going to work, right? This thing's going to push up, probably touch 60s. Probably touch 60s. If it can take out the previous 5 at 45s, it's going to go to 60s. That's what I don't get about traders. Well, I only want to risk 3 points on the NQ. What the hell are we doing trading the NQ then? What are we doing trading NQ if you want to? This thing will move 5 points in a second. You know, I mean, I've watched the NQ move up 2 points in 3 seconds in the same 5-minute candle. Did anyone take the futures thing? A lot of you guys have been asking for the futures. Did you guys take that? Look at this thing. 46s. Entry was 18s. It's 25 points. Did anyone take that? This is not even like it's like, you know, scaring us out of this trade. It's just holding, right? It's like, look at the green line here. That's a 5 SMA. It's power trending. It broke out. It's power trending off the 5. You know, there's no harm, no foul until it starts closing below the 5, and then it's coming right back down to your original break-even spot. And again, if you didn't take profits on that 20 to 25 point run up, man, we got a problem. But you know, stop out at break-even, please, because then under 17s is 07s is the next support. So I hope you guys took something off of that. That'd make my day. Yes, still power trending, guys. 44.25. You know, trading at 28s again, so still up 3 handles there. I need this thing to get over 30 though. You know, to show me that it's got juice, I need the ES to get over 30s. 44.30s, I need it to get out, and then we got room maybe 32s. But again, you know, whatever. If you took the ES, you know, that's why I don't really trade ES. It just moves too damn slow. But whatever. What else were we looking at? Amazon still holding those lows. AMD hit that supply. You see, that's a perfect spot to take profits, guys. The 108.80s. I feel like I mentioned that, right? I said if you're in it, it's going to 80s. Like, that's not, and again, you know, that's not because I'm a magician. Like, I'm not guessing here. You know, supply to supply, demand to demand. Over 108, right? Over 108 and a half or over 108.8 had room to go to 108.80s. It's right here on the chart. Look at this line here. This is supply. This is supply. Takes out supply, went right to the next level of supply. Pulling back. Take profits. Yeah. Pullback spot on AMD is 108. So that would be a little break and retest there. So you have your big move higher. And then if we pull back into 107.70s to 108s, you would look for this to consolidate and then push off. And if we do, your entry, long entry for a second one would be here. And then your stop loss would be under that. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So someone would also do this though, right? And I might try this. 108.82 as your stop loss and short this thing into 107s. Let's see if we can confirm the previous hours. I mean, previous 5 minute. But I would be interested in that. Again, this is a little bit more for your aggressive and your experienced traders. Again, I wouldn't recommend someone first day on this on the charts to just start taking these setups, but let's see what these contracts are at. We're trading at 108. 108s are trading at $200. So let's give that a little time and see where that wants to pull back to. Let's see if AMD wants to pull back into 108.10s. If not, 108.82 for continuation. Let's see what that wants to do. Let's look at NVIDIA as well. NVIDIA has already pulled back into its break retest spot. So break, retest, I could see coming back into the 62, 63s. We would be looking for something like that. We would be taking the long position back here on the green candle. Green taking out red, boom, we would be looking for that type of move. I'll leave that on the chart there for a little bit here. Same thing with the ES, guys. So look at the ES breakout, and now it's kind of just consolidating, right? So we want to see the ES hold this zone here and then break out to the top side. If we don't and we break out to the downside, look for this area to act as resistance now for a continued move down. Hope that makes sense. Let's take a look here. Andre, so Andre took $500 off that AMD long. I took the NVIDIA. And then we had bigs also on AMD. We have Addy scaling out of contracts on Tesla. And Biggs took the AMD calls off the bell early. He actually missed out on some cash because he sold way early on the AMDs, but whatever. Money's money. That's the way I look at it. I tell traders all the time, I don't care if you make 20 bucks, right? Come back and do it again tomorrow. 20 bucks is better than no bucks, right? $100 is better than no dollars. NVIDIA is pulling back here. So NVIDIA pulled right back into it. It's rising 5-minute support here. So 462.50s I'd like to see hold on NVIDIA. Any close below 452.60s, next stop could be 460s. ES pulled right back to its break-even spot here on that original breakout as well. So again, if you were long and you didn't take those 3, 4, 5 handles that we got, you know, you should be stopped out at break-even here on your runners. Same thing with the NQ. NQ could pull right back into that breakout spot. And you'll start to notice that over time, guys. Like if we were looking at the 15117, 15118 area, and it puts in a high and then pulls back to that area and holds that area and then pushes higher, that's a strong move. That's a strong move. That's an add, right? You would add to that move. Look at AMD, see how it pulled back into this rising support here, this 10, pulled in here. It would need to hold the 108.10s for a continued up move. Tesla support sitting at 233. Wasn't that the original breakout spot? 230, yeah, 233. So right now, just going across the board, everything's pulling back to the first hour highs, right? So what were we looking to take long? First hour high break, right? If we had some space. So we got that move. We should have taken those profits, and now we're pulling right back into it. So how we navigate the rest of the day is if we pull back into that area and we hold it and we consolidate and then we push off, there's an opportunity for another long there. If we don't hold that area and we start to lose that area, then we look for the bounce to get rejected in that area and then fall back down. That's how we start navigating the rest of the day, right? That's how we start navigating the rest of the day. Because if you start looking at something like Tesla now, confirmed previous hours highs, ran right into the 20, took it out, and over 233.56 spiked all the way up to 235.20s. That's a $2 move. If you took Tesla long and did not take profits on a $2 move, what are we thinking? What are we thinking? Because a lot of times I will see traders that will do weird stuff like that, where they have a good entry, and when you look at the chart, it's up $1. It was up $1.50, up $2, and they never took profits. It's like, why? I thought it was going to go higher. But what do you mean you thought? Like, what are we thinking? We can't think, just react to the price action. NQ looking to take out the high of day here. Look at that. Look at that. 45s. Entry was the 17s, 18s, guys. Beautiful move there. Punch in a new high at 54s. You know, I'd love for someone to say, hey, I took that first hour high break and I'm still holding it. I just made a shit ton of money. Never gave me a reason to get out. You know, your break even spot is the 17s again. So it never gave you a reason to get out. Jeez, look at Apple. Apple hasn't even put in a freaking down tick yet. Apple new high of day here, 180.60s. Apple over pre-market highs, right? First, literally the taking out pre-market highs at 178.55 has put in a $2 move. A $2 move on Apple, like I said, is like an $8 move on Tesla. Wow. Yeah, that was a great move. That's a great opening move on Apple. Meta starting to confirm first hour's highs here. It gets over this Bollinger Band and the 294s. It's got room to stretch into 295.50s. So keep an eye on that. So looking at the meta here over the 294s, $295s maybe strike prices trading at around 300 if someone was interested in that. Again, it is up $6. Meta does move a little funny, but what is this exact price here? So we're coming into a previous area of supply as well on Meta. But again, I mean, it did break to the high side there. What's Airbnb doing? I looked at that chart last night. Nothing. What else do we got? Good up move on snow. Snow went right into supply at 156. Nothing there. Nothing on snow. A firm reclaiming its 1 hour 20 and first hour's highs. Doesn't have a lot of room, but this could be the start of a little. If anyone's into swing trading, maybe a firm here, guys. Maybe a firm on a little bit of a swing into the end of the week here. Maybe use $14 as a stop, which is going to risk you 40 cents. And we would be trying to target. We would be trying to target 64s. It's not a lot of room, but it is coming off of an area of support here, a firm AFRM. Maybe we can use $14 or $13.87 as a stop, potential little swing play here. I don't know. I'd like to see this get back into the 15s. That could be a potential. So are you, Parker, are you talking about like when I'm drawing boxes, when I'm drawing those green and red boxes? Is that what you're talking about? I can do an example for you right now if that's what you're talking about. Yeah, it makes sense. Give me 1 second here. So looking at that meta that's confirming those previous hours highs here, we're coming into yesterday's resistance zone here. So 295s, 295.50s maybe is the potential on meta here, taking out the previous hours highs. Yeah, so Parker, what do you trade, stocks or you trade futures? And I'll pull a chart up and I'll do it for you. And just give me whatever chart you want to do it for. Biggs all out of the AMDs, 350. Not bad take. Biggs, attaboy. Big's been trading with me now for a couple of years. AMD all out, 352. So that's what I like when guys can come in and do this on their own now, right? Futures ES or NQ, fine, whichever one. Okay, yeah, let's do we could do the NQ here since I have it on the screen already. So let's do the NQ. Let's pull it up on one chart. Let's take everything off, right? Let's take everything off of my chart. I'm just going to use the 20 and the 200. Okay, so what I'm going to start off doing. So I already had some on my screen, so I can just kind of recap because these have been on my screen all week. So make sure you guys can see that. So look at this zone here that we're coming into. Oh, this is meta. Whoops. NQ. Here we go. Look at the NQ. Again, before I get into, guys, we're trading at the 65s. The breakout spot was 17s. Someone in here, tell me you guys got it. Someone got it. Someone, dude, someone. Just anyone told me you guys took the 17-18 break. Come on. Look at the move. Holy, it's trading to the 70s. Does anyone see why that was the break there? Fuck. Damn. Anyways. Yeah, so here's the hour chart on the NQ, right? Let me just take everything off, to be honest. That was a freaking hell of a move, man. So if we're looking at the NQ, right? I'm going to look at the hourly chart here, and I got today's price action. I've got yesterday's price action. I've got Monday's price action, and that this is Sunday's price action, right? So what I'm looking at here, what do I want to see? Just very common sense wise, right? Like, I'm not the smartest of guy, so I'm just going to let my eyes tell me, where is price gravitating towards? Where are we holding? What seems like a level of support, right? That's all I'm looking for. All I'm looking for. So if I go back to yesterday's price action, right? Yesterday's going to start here in the after hour session. After hour session got ran up. We pulled all the way back down. Okay. If I look at Monday's, right? Monday's highs, right? Where we kind of closed at for Monday, and then after hours on Monday, we kind of just traded sideways and we pushed up in the overnight session. So my eyes are gravitating towards this level here, right? Would this make sense? If this makes sense, just put a Y in the chat, right? Like, my eyes are gravitating towards here, right? They're gravitating towards here because I'm noticing consolidation, right? I'm noticing consolidation. I'm noticing demand, And this morning, even in the overnight session, we're trading at 73s on the NQ, guys. Anyone took that break at 18s, be my guest and take profits. I'm noticing more spots here. So what I will then do is just go back a day, 2 days. You know, I don't need to go back 20 days. I don't need to go back 2 weeks. I'll just go back a day, 2 days, because all I really care about is where are we going today, right? I'm not worried about tomorrow yet. I'm not worried about tomorrow until tomorrow. So for right now, what I'm looking for is, my eyes are taking me here. I will just take the low wick here. I'm looking at this low wick. I'll take this low wick. I'll see that we touched here, we touched here, we touched here, we touched here, 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 and here. So I'll just simply draw a box, right? The zones can be big, but this is the NQ, so it might be a little big. So if we draw it across, right, I'll use the low wick. The low wick will be the bottom of my box, and I'll just drag that across. And I want to make sure that I'm touching multiple times. So I touched it here, I touched it here. I got 2, 3, 4, 5 touches. And then you can see we did not touch it here. So what I can do is one of two things. I can either leave it here, or I can make it a little bigger and at least make it touch, right? So this range is between 15,931 to 1560. So it's a 30-point range. It's a 30-point range. The ATR on, we're trading at 80s now on NQ. The ATR on NQ 5-minute time frame is like 15 to 25. So a 30-point range here for a demand, I think, is solid enough, right? Like, that seems pretty solid to me. I mean, I can't make my demand zone 2 points if, you know, if this is going to trade, one candle is going to trade 20, 25 points. So this would be my solid demand zone. So I'll just make this green because, you know, like I said, I'm stupid. I want to know, you know, Green tells me, hey, buyers are in this area. Now I would have to lose this area. For example, if I'm looking to go short, I would have to come down to this area, right? Come down to this area, lose it, right? Put in a low, bounce, get rejected, and then come back down through the low, and then I would take it short. That's how I'm going to play that. And then to the top side, what I'm going to do is, where's my eyes taking me to? Where's you know, what is my eyes being drawn to right now? My eyes are being drawn to obviously yesterday's highs, okay, because that was the high, and it's also being drawn to this little high here from the overnight session. So this is 84, this is 21, this is a 50-point range. Maybe that's a little bit too much. You know, I would be confident with a zone, you know, 20 to 30 points, but 50 points is a little much. So what I would just simply do is take yesterday's highs, right? Just take yesterday's highs and then just draw a box through yesterday's highs. And I want to make sure at least 2 or 3 candles touch. So I do something like this, right? Do something like this, and I'd make this smaller, and I'd put this at the top wick here. Boom. There's my supply zone for today, right? And again, I take this from the hourly chart to start. And as soon as I do that, make this red, let me know that there's sellers in this area. So now that I have this, right, yesterday's highs, and I have a couple of hour candles here, we also got rejected here, and we stopped here, right, originally yesterday. So now when I come to the 5-minute time frame and I kind of look at today's price action, right, I just look at today's price action. Overnight session here was trading at the level of supply, right? Look at where we were trading at, you know, overnight session. London boys over there weren't really doing nothing. It's just kind of trading sideways, and then we started to dip, and then we dipped again, right? So we dipped from underneath the 20 down to the 200, and then we lost the 200 and traded right into that demand from yesterday, right? So we traded here, we bounced, we traded here, we bounced. This is a little bit of a double bottom. This is 4:10 a.m. my time pre-market. This is 5:30 a.m. my time pre-market. We bounced twice and we came out of this demand. So truly, okay, truly, could we have, if we were up, right? Like I wasn't even awake at 5:30 in the morning, but if we were awake and we're trading this pre-market session, could we have taken this 20 play that confirmed out of demand at 5:30, given ourselves either a 1-bar stop or the bottom of this zone as a stop? Just give me a Y in the chat if we could have done that if we were trading, right? Again, I'm not saying everyone needs to be up 2 hours before the market, but does that make sense? Right? If we were on futures at 5:30 in the morning and we seen the level of demand from yesterday, and then boom, now we've confirmed the 20. Yes, I understand that the 200's here, but if we're using a stop right here, right? If we're using a stop right here, does this really concern us? No, because even if we come up and when we come down, well, we know we're getting stopped out here, right? So we could essentially let it rode. Okay, but again, I get it. Not everyone's up at 5:30 in the morning. I wasn't up at 5:30 in the morning. So if we look at the opening candle was here. So look at where we were trading at off the open, right? This candle right here, it takes out the pre-market highs, right? The last little bit of action here. We understand we're coming off of demand. So what could we have done? We could have essentially used the fact that we're trading over the 20, over the 200 as confluence, taken the breakout over the last bit of consolidation that we had here for like the last couple of hours and got in long. Now you're in there, okay? That also could have worked. What else could have worked, right? So there's different ways to take these trades. You know, if we understood that this was our area of supply, well, if we took this long, we're selling into this area of supply, okay? There's another point. If we took this long, we're selling into supply, right? So your profit taking would have been this. Forget about this. You can forget about that. That wasn't your trade. That's not your trade. If you're in here or you were in here, your money is here. Okay? So I hope that makes sense. Again, if you didn't take either one of those, you weren't up at 5:30 in the morning, you didn't take the opening candle breakout over the pre-market highs and the 200, that's fine. What's our next spot? first hour highs. And that's the one we were looking at. So what's our first hour highs? Here. Boom. Right. So that dotted red line that you see, that's our first hour highs. That's what we would be looking to see break. And that broke here at 705, 710. And what you want to see is when we do break out of a level of supply, okay? So if we're going to get long here on that candle, this candle right here, what we want to see is put in a new high, back test. And notice how the wicks, let me take this off. Notice how the wicks back tested this area here. Notice how that back tested and then ran. This is your money, wherever you want to take it. You know, 2-3 pushes higher, doesn't really matter. But if your entry candle is here, this is your second push higher, this is your third push higher. So realistically, you would have taken profits there on a scalp. That price is 15,156. Your entry price was that 1517 mark, right? So look at when we came out of that supply zone. And didn't that match up with my big chart, right? So like, again, you can draw these on your own, but it still matches up with what I have on the other screen. So like sometimes when I'm coming into the morning, I don't really, you know, draw all these out until the day starts to get going. And then, you know, market slows down, I have more time. I'll just start off on the big chart because of the fact that, you know, all the levels are there for me already. But I mean, like if you really think about it, yesterday's highs, right? Yesterday's highs was our level. So yesterday's highs was sitting at 15,181, right? So 15,181 is yesterday's highs. That was our pivot for today. What did I put in for the guys this morning, right? So where are we at? Futures trading channel. At 7 o'clock in the morning, right? 7 o'clock in the morning, 6:59, NQ 15118, right? Long needs to confirm, okay? Top of the hour. So what's the price? 15,118. You see how I got that level for the guys in the room, right? So 15,118, long needs to confirm. That's how I got that level, was yesterday's highs. And when does yesterday's highs get taken out? I needed it to get taken out the top of the hour. So what does that mean, right? If I'm looking at the hourly chart, here's yesterday's highs. Here's the top of the hour chart, right? If this is the first hour candle, stops here, what do I need to see? I don't want to get long at 15,105 because I had resistance here at 15,118. So I need the top of hour candle, which is new 7 a.m. candle, to confirm yesterday's highs. And as soon as it confirms yesterday's highs, get in. Let's ride it. Let's ride it. I mean, guys, we went all the way up to 187s. That's a 70-point move. I hope that makes sense. So if I pull up my big chart again on NQ, you see this rising green line here, this rising green and blue line. This is your rising hourly support. This hourly support in another hour is going to be inside this box, which if this was acting as a previous area of resistance, where would our pullback be to, right? Confirm highs. It means that if I was looking at 15,118, okay, that's my pivot, right? So this is my pivot here from yesterday's highs, right? So I needed to confirm, means I need the new hour candle that's forming, which was this one, which I was telling the guys at 6:59, if we can confirm, which we confirmed at like 7:10. I needed to confirm means I needed to take out 15,118. And as soon as that candle or that price takes out 15,118, I'm long. I'm getting long. I'm not waiting for this candle to close and then say, hey, that confirmed. No, I just lost 60 points. Confirm just means I've already got a pivot. Like the level I'm looking at was 15,118. I need price action to take out 15,118 before I can get long. So as soon as price action hits 15,118, 15,119, I'm long. That's confirming. It's just like on my 20 plays here. Like, so for example, you know, if you're just looking at the hourly chart, got it. Yeah. So as long as it pushes, yeah, as long as it pushes through, because we already got a previous candle to confirm, right? So for example, on this hour candle off the open today on NQ closed over the 20 SMA, right? Here's the high. So that's my level. I need the next candle to confirm it. So the next candle needs to take out the high. And as soon as it takes out the high, I'm in. Again, it doesn't mean like this candle, I'm going to take this one short. Like, we have to have room. Like, there's got to be a reason why we're taking it. You know, I'm taking this one because of the fact that it's going to take out yesterday's high. That's a big reason. Again, like I said in the beginning of this live stream, you know, stocks and indexes or whatever futures, we can't move higher until we take out a previous day high. We can't move lower until we take out a previous day low. Stocks can go up and down, but it doesn't mean that they're going any higher or going any lower. I hope that makes sense. So your biggest moves will always come when a stock's confirming the previous day high or low. Everything else in between is just, you know, moving up and down, moving up and down. So maybe we're getting a little bit of a pullback here. Tesla not really doing nothing. Tesla has support or supply at 236. Look at the move on the video. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? Woulda, coulda, shoulda. I had 462 calls, and it traded to 468. Beautiful. But does anyone see, you know, why I took the Nvidia play here? Right? So my Nvidia play was here, right? First hour highs. So here's a good example for you on the stock side of things. So 463.16 was the first hour highs. Why did I have confidence in taking this? Well, if I look at the first hour highs, already broke over the 20 SMA on a 1 hour time frame. So if I confirm the first hour highs over the 20, I know that I had $2, right, from 463 to 465 into the pre-market highs. So that's why I took my long position on Nvidia on this 7 a.m. candle, confirming the first hour highs, which had room into the pre-market highs, and I sold here. Now I missed out on this, but again, you know, that's not my money, because my trade idea was confirm first hour's highs and sell it at pre-market highs. That's what I wanted to do, and that's what I did. You know, sometimes you do that and the frickin' stock continues to do that all day, but you know, it is what it is. Beggars can't be choosers. We can do this on a daily basis, right? Like, this is not my last trade. You know, there's always going to be another one. And besides, you know, with $2,200 a contract, I didn't have confidence holding, you know, $7,000, $8,000 in premium, hoping that it gets up there. And again, you know, $550, I mean, $500 a day keeps the day job away. I've been telling myself that for 7 years now. $500 a day keeps the day job away. Anything else out there that's moving? Anyone got anything that's moving out there? Look at the ES level, guys. The ES 45.25 all the way up to 44.38. There's your 10 points. Let's see if it ever gave us a reason to get out of the trade. Nope. Nope. I hope some of you guys that were asking for the futures commentary Seen that, right? 44.25, first hour highs were there. We broke it. We put in a new high. We back tested. And then boom, it went. We see how that works. We see how we never lost a 5 or 10 day moving average. See why we would have stayed in the trade. This is our power trend. This is our power trend. See how we never lost that? We broke this level, consolidated, boom, put in a high. Take your profits on the new high. Now, there's periods of time, candles, right? Where yes, you get in here, you get profitable, and yes, it does pull back to break even. Yes, it's scary. Yes, it gets emotions going. Breathe though, guys, breathe. You know what I'm saying? It's like breathe. Did it take out your 1 bar stop here? No, never even closed below that. So you have a 1 bar stop. It never even closed below that. Put in a high, back tested, consolidated, and then boom. So you always want to sell when you get in and you put in that first high. And if it pulls back, because sometimes it doesn't just go straight up, if it pulls back and it doesn't stop you out and you sit through the consolidation, you sell on the next high. Now, if this continues to run, that's okay. That's not your money though after that point. Your money is here or here. We don't sit through the next wave. That's not us. We're just looking for the first wave, right? So levels here, breaks, consolidates, new high, our money gets taken on a new high. I keep telling everyone, take profits 2 or 3 pushes higher. So if our entry is here, our entry's here, there's 1 push, there's 2 push, 44.32, here's 3 push, 44.37, from an entry price of 44.25 to 37. That's 10 points. Again, I put this in early, right, for the guys in my room. Where's it at here? ES 44.25 at 659. So let's find the 659 candle. 659 candles here. Okay. So at 650, or yeah, 659. At 659, that candle is here. So right here on this candle, I'm telling the traders, we've got a pivot level at 44.25. If we confirm, we go long. So we do confirm here, or if you're late, you can even take it here, but we confirm and then we just get in. We set that 1 bar stop, right? So our 1 bar stop would have been here, or our 1 bar stop would have been here. The dotted red line is our entry, 44.25. We break that, we back test it, and then go. That's the move we take, right? That's why I was alluding to for the guys in the room. But yeah, it's almost about time, guys. Coffee run, right? Time for a coffee run. Oh. Reason being is because I'm getting ready to close out my second trade of the day here, which is on Meta. So, and the Meta trade is confirming the first hour's highs, right? So the first hour's highs is here, the 293, 294. We got that confirmation. New hour candle started, and I'm coming into an area of supply. So again, small size here. First hour's highs. We're over all levels of supply. Our next supply zone is 295. So over 294 to 295 $1. And that's what we got to do. So again, if let's say, for example, if this breaks out, because I'm going to sell these contracts and go to Starbucks. If this contract breaks out here and it goes to, I don't know, 296, that's fine. It's not my money, because my setup, that what I'm looking for, first hour, put in a high. I need the second hour to confirm that high, because I have space, right? I know that I have room from 293.81 up to 295. Now, if it never gets there, because sometimes it never will get there, it'll just fake you out, go up 30 cents and pull all the way back down. That's fine too. I'll just get stopped out. Uh-oh, we just put in a high here. Let me sell these contracts. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. I don't want to give back money. I took 10 of them. So we'll lock in that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually leave a runner. I'm going to leave 2 runners. So 2 runners are right now at about $40 profit. Currently up 420 on them. I'll leave these runners at break even. Go get to Starbucks and see what we can do when we come back. See if they continue to go. They might not, but we'll see. Anyways. But yeah, do you see why I would want to take my profits here? You know, if we confirm the first hour's highs, can we trade up to the next level of supply? And if we get there, I have to get out because, you know, I'll hold a runner because here's our next level, but I mean, I have to take the majority of my size off the table just due to the fact that, like, you know, if I don't, now that's where you get into where you're a greedy son of a you know what, right? Like you already made you know from 233 or excuse me 293.82 to 295.47. You've already almost made $2. Our ATR, meaning, you know, our hour candles trade at $1.87 on Meta. So high to low swing could move up or down at $1.87. So what does that mean? What that means is that if I can make $1.50, $1.80 on the move, I've got to get out. I've got to get out. Like that's the style of trader I am. I'm not looking for this to push all day. As it continues to push all day, I'll hold these 2 runners, but again, I've got to take profits somewhere near 296. I've got to take profits somewhere near 296. Right? So that's how we play that. We got someone else making gains here. 2 week. That boy Biggs. We got a guy in the room playing End Phase. This is the last time you guys played End Phase. ENPH. God, I haven't heard that name since COVID, right? That was one of those 2020, 2021 plays. End Phase. What the hell is that thing doing today? He took calls on that thing. Not a bad pop. It's up $2.50. That's a hell of a move. So if we look at End Phase, let's look at End Phase's hourly chart. Yeah, that's not a bad move. So look at End Phase's hourly chart. Actually, if we look at the pre-market highs, the first hour highs was 129. That's over the pre-market level. So 129 and it traded up to 130. That's 130.60. That's a $1.50 move over pre-market highs. That was a hell of a play. See, that's the thing, guys. You know, I mean, but again, you know, Biggs has been trading with me for a couple of years in Evolution Traders, so he understands how to use this chart. He understands what to look for. So just to give everyone like kind of a point of reference, when you kind of understand what you're looking for, because either you've been trading with the guys in the room, you've been doing this, you've kind of learned along the way what to do, what not to do. You can sit there and you can trade these off the wall stocks. Like, don't get me wrong, this is a hell of a move. He just made $478 on this move. That's a hell of a move on a $100 stock, right? I don't play End Phase, but that doesn't mean that once you guys understand what to look for, you guys can't play anything. You guys can play futures. You guys can play, you know, small caps. You guys can play crypto. It doesn't really matter what you guys want to play. A chart's a chart. As long as it has candlesticks and you can read price action, a chart's a chart, right? So once you get familiar with what levels of supply and demand are significant, what to look for in the chart, you can come in and essentially pick off your spots, right? You can come in and pick off your spots and do very, very well for yourselves. You don't need me. You don't need the next guy. You don't need some weird trading book. You know, you don't need any of that. Now, of course, there's a foundation you guys have to build in the very beginning where, you know, you need to understand your risk management. You need to understand your level of emotions. You need to understand which stocks or assets or instruments do you feel comfortable trading. Of course, you know, there's a series of exercise trades that you guys need to take, starting with very, very small size to get and build confidence. That's one thing that I'm really working on right now with guys, members and Evolution traders, is confidence, right? It's fear, whether that's fear of losing, fear of being wrong, fear of losing another account, fear of being able to execute. Because a lot of times people will see the move and then you don't execute. How many of you guys watching the stream has that happened to, where you're looking at a particular level, you've kind of done your homework, you have a good feeling about it, and then you don't execute, you never take the trade, and you come back later and you look at that an hour later and it would have made you money? How many times has that happened, right? So that's a mental roadblock that we need to work through. And I have a series of exercises to, put traders through to kind of, get over that. Trust me, guys, it took me almost 2.5, 3 years of losing money. I mean, a lot of money, right? I came into trading from another industry, from another business. I owned my own business in another industry, just for a little story time here before I take off. So I was in the electronic cigarette business, right? The vaping business, where I was a manufacturer and distributor for electronic cigarettes as well as electronic juice, and we manufactured our own stuff. So I had, production warehouses here in California, and then I had shipping and receiving to kind of evade some of these taxes, and a business infrastructure set up for sales and distribution in Las Vegas because of the no state income tax. When all of the laws with the FDA and the new taxes and everything started to hit, I essentially just sold my business, sold the rights to, the products that we were manufacturing to a much larger company, who, had the money to sustain themselves and kind of started buying market share, right? And when I got out of that business, there was a good portion of time where, I dabbled in other industries. I got into, the fitness industry, where I was trying to manufacture supplements for workouts, pre-workouts, protein powders, stuff like that. I got into e-commerce space, a little bit of real estate, and, trying to buy real estate, right, where I bought an investment property. And I really tried to figure myself out. And I'd always been interested in the stock market. I'm talking 10, 15, 20 years, ever since I was young, high school, I can remember. But never really went into it, right? So you have to think about it. When I really realistically came from where I was doing financially, and, financially, I was okay. I was good. I came pretty young guy, like in my early 20s, mid 20s, making very, very good money, to then all of a sudden you sell and you no longer have that purpose, right? Where you have the means to make the ends, what I'm saying is, when I sold the business and got out of that industry, I wasn't making the same amount of money, right? I had cushion. I had, some small businesses that I was trying to start. I had an investment property, not really bringing in a lot of cash flow, right? I mean, you got to think about it. When you first take out a mortgage on a house, even if you're going to rent it, you're not making a whole lot of cash flow in the beginning, right? And you have to think about, when I came into this business, I lost a lot of money. And because I came into this business with a bit of a cushion, I felt like it's okay. It's okay. I mean, I got more, there's more where that came from, right? But when you really don't understand what the fuck you're doing, you can lose a lot of money very, very quickly. And the point that I'm trying to get across is that it took me 2 years, almost 2.5 years, to finally get so fed up and hit trading rock bottom, to be like, I'm constantly losing money, and I keep using the excuse as, well, I got more money, I'll just load up my account again. Well, I can do this, or I can sell this, or I can work for a little bit and do this and put more money into my trading account. It really took me a long time to understand that everything that I've been doing is absolutely wrong. And if everything that I've been doing is not creating me the type of success and the level of consistency that I want, what do I need to do? So that's where internally, 6.5, 7 years ago, I had to really look at myself from the outside in. I don't know why I'm looking at this stupid end phase chart still, but I had to really look at myself from the outside in and tell myself, Tesla's coming into 200 supply here on the 1 hour chart, guys. I had to really look at myself and say, what are you going to do? Are you going to continue to do the same thing that is causing you to lose money? Are you going to continue to do the same things that are not working, or are you going to actually learn how to do that? So that's why, sometimes on some of these YouTube videos, I'll see some of these guys come on these comment section and say, you got too many indicators. Your chart looks like spaghetti. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But what I'm saying is, I've traded this way for 6 years. I know personally that it works, and someone's opinion on fucking YouTube comments is not going to make me change the way that I trade because you've been in trading the markets for 2 years, and you listen to some idiot, or some fucking 20-year-old kid that says you should only be using VWAP. It's like come on, I've learned from some pretty professional people, but it's like the thing is this, the point that I'm making is, once you have a strategy or a way of trading or a system and you've had success and you know that it works, you never question your edge. Like, I don't question my edge. I don't sit here and tell myself, well, maybe if it might not work this time, because I understand that trading is all probabilities. I'm going to win, I'm going to lose, right? I understand that going into the particular trade. It's up to me to take the trade if I want to assume that level of risk on that particular trade, or not take the trade, right? But I've had enough trades, thousands and thousands of trades, to understand that if I just stick to my edge and I trust my strategy, it will be profitable over time. And a lot of times, people come into this business, and let's say you learn a new strategy or a new system, it works for a couple of trades, and then you have a bad day and you kind of give it all back, and now you're searching for answers. Well, why didn't it work? Maybe it's the strategy. Maybe I did something wrong. When realistically, the only thing you need to understand is that every trade, every 2 trades, every 3 trades, every 4 trades, they're not correlated to each other. I can take the same setup tomorrow on the same setups I took today, and they can lose. It doesn't mean just because I took it today that it's going to win tomorrow. And I understand that, but I also understand that I'm not going to lose every single day. If I take 100 trades, I'm not going to lose 100 trades in a row. Like, let's be real. So how many of you out there are actually working on fixing your mistakes and are actually working on taking the same entries and exits? Like, if today I was mainly focused on stocks that were confirming the first hour's highs that had space. And did they work today? Yes. Yes, they did work today. And will they work tomorrow? Maybe, maybe not, right? But I understand that if I do take a loss, I'm not going to just keep trading and keep trading and keep trading on that day just to try to get it back, right? So it's like, you have to overcome a certain level of anxiety, a certain level of fear. And the whole, moral of that, story time is that all these people you see trading that are making money or consistent, you don't know what they've went through. You don't know how long it took them, right? And the whole reason, how much do I risk per trade? It depends on the instrument. But for example, when I'm trading options, I'm not really risking any more than like 6,000 to 7,000 a trade, right? Now, not every trade I'm risking 6,000 to 7,000. For example, today, NVIDIA contracts that I took were trading at around $2,000 a pop. I took 4 of them. That's $8,000. That's steep. That's steep for me, right? Normally, I'll trade 8 to 10 contracts on Tesla and NVIDIA, and it's going to run me about 4 or 5 grand, right? So I'm in the sweet spot between like 3 and 5 grand. That's my sweet spot. But I have no problem taking it up to 8,000 per trade on option side of things. If we're talking futures, I trade micros, and I'll trade like 4 or 5 micros at a time. So whatever margin you would need for that, you can kind of do your math depending on your broker. Some people, for MNQ micros are going to require you to have $100 margin per contract, but again, I play with a little bit of decent size in my personal futures accounts, or I trade the prop firms. Doesn't really matter. But when we're talking about options, because that's my bread and butter, like futures, I know how to trade futures. I do trade futures, but I use futures as an additional revenue stream, right? So I'm not out here trying to pop futures for $1,000 a trade. I'm not out here trying to pop the futures for $500 profit per trade, like I am with options, right? So, if I can make $100, $200, $300 on the future side of things, I stop trading on the day, due to the fact that if I can do that a couple times a week, that's going to add an extra $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 to the bottom line. But yeah, my options on a daily basis, I come into options heavy, and it's not even that heavy, right? Like, it's not even that heavy, but like my position sizing could definitely move up. Like, I can definitely go from trading 10 to 15 apples to 20 to 25, and I can go from trading 10 Teslas contracts to trading 15 or 20. but I'm comfortable with the risk, right? Like I'm comfortable with this risk. So again, I was explaining to someone in Evolution Traders yesterday. We had a one-on-one session, and they were asking me the same thing about risk. And they said, you know, how much are you risking per trade? Like for example, on the meta trade that I'm currently in right now, I was in for around $4,000, right? I was in for around $4,000, 40 something $100 or whatever. That doesn't mean that I'm prepared to lose 4 grand. I hope we're not even on the same page as far as thinking on that, right? Like I hope that there's no one listening to this live stream that just took what I said about I put up $4,000 or $5,000 on this meta trade is thinking that I'm willing to lose $4,000 or $5,000 on that trade. And I would just love anyone comment like, is that what you mean as far as risk? Like if I'm putting up $5,000 in meta, that I'm prepared to lose 5,000? Is that what you mean? Because that's 100% not even close to what I'm gonna lose on the trade. Like I might lose like $700 or $800, like maybe $500, $400. Oh yeah, no. Like yeah, no. So like the way I assess risk is a lot differently than a lot of people, right? So for example, if I put in, I'll just use a round number. If I put in $4,000 into 10 options contracts on Meta, right? Like on these 10 options contracts that I took the 295 calls. I took 10 of them. It was around 40 something hundred, but let's just use $4,000. So let's say $4,000, right? So $4,000 on one particular long play. Let's say, for example, the trade does not work and I have to get stopped out. Am I losing 4,000? Answer is no. The answer will be no. I might lose 500. I might lose 600. Maybe. If I pull the plug early, I might lose $300. Right. But my risk, like that I'm buying option, my premium is $4,000. Yeah. My premium's 4,000. That doesn't mean I'm gonna lose 4,000. You know, I might risk like 20% of that. You know, 25%. Which some people could say that's a lot, but again, that's per trade, right? Like my options account, I keep it at 75,000. I'll just be honest, right? Like full disclosure, like my options account is 75 grand. So I live off this 75 grand. I trade off this 75 grand. I take paychecks off this 75 grand. I keep it around 75,000. So risking $4,000 on $75,000 is not a lot of money, considering that I'm not planning on losing the 4,000. Like if the trade doesn't work for me, I'm going to cut it at $500, $600 loss, or whenever I'm supposed to get stopped out. That doesn't, you know, so options is a little bit different. It's a little bit different on how you can manage your risk. Everyone manages it differently. Like if I talk on a smaller scale, like let's say, for example, someone has a $5,000 options account. And let's say, for example, they wanted to also play 10 contracts of meta. They're going to be risking 90%, right? If they have $5,000, they're going to be risking almost 90% of their entire account balance at $4,000 worth of premium. Is that smart? No. But can you do it? Yes. The reason why I say you can do it is because you're not risking 4,000. That's just what it's costing you to get into the trade. You might risk 500. You might risk 200 of that 4,000 on your $5,000 total account. Again, is it the smartest thing to do? No, because if you're not experienced, here's what happens. I have $5,000 in my account. I want to trade like everyone else. So I'm going to go buy 10 contracts that cost me $4,000, but I don't know how to manage my emotions yet. And I haven't perfected my edge yet. And I don't really know how to handle myself yet as a trader and as an adult, right? Because, you know, most people, we're adults doing this, but we don't act like adults. There's a lot of people I see and have talked to that don't act like fucking adults. They just think that this is just a get rich quick scheme. So let's say, for example, they've got $5,000 in their brokerage account. They go in 10 contracts that cost them 4 grand because they want to trade like everyone else. However, they're inexperienced and they don't know what they're doing, and the trade goes against them. They don't get out. Now they're down. Now they're down 500. They don't get out because they hope that it's coming back. Now they're down 1,000. Now they're like, holy shit, what do? I don't want to be down 1,000. Next thing you know, they're down 1,800, right? And then they hit a breaking point and they sell at like a $2,500 loss. You can only do that twice, brother, before you're done, right? You can only do that twice before you blow up a $5,000 account. So again, if you know how to conduct yourself, you know how to manage your emotions, and you know how to control your risk, like I don't even know if he's in the room. Like if Andre's in this room, we have a great fucking interview podcast coming out. Andre's in Evolution Traders. He's been trading with me for a few years now, and I'm not even gonna dive into his story yet, but just like a teaser. This kid, right? This dude took a very, very small amount of money and made a lot of money. And what I'm saying is that he, even when he was growing his small account, let's say for example he had 4,000, he was going in premium with like 2,000, 2,500, but because he knew how to manage it right. Like if you have 4,000 in your account and you put up $2,500 in options contracts, you're not going to lose you're not going to lose more than $300-$500. You're still going to be in the game is what I'm saying, right? Even if you take a $300 loss on 4,000, you're still at 3,700. You can come back in and make 800 tomorrow. So what I'm saying is that you can definitely do that. You can push your account, but you better know how to manage risk. And the problem is a lot of people don't know how to manage risk, and that's what they need help on. And a lot of that is psychological. I'm my bad. I'm getting off on a little bit of a rant. Like I hope I didn't bore anyone with that. Yeah, so the way I look, okay, in my profit targets are also different. So is 2x or 3x my stop? My profit targets is where am I going to hit the next area of supply? Where am I going to hit the next area of demand, right? So I want room in those trades, but let's say for example, because I trade the same stocks each and every single day. So if I'm trading, Tesla, for example, if I take 10 contracts on Tesla and let's say there's $3 before I'm going to hit the next area of resistance, right? I know that I have $3 worth of potential that if Tesla goes in my favor and it does work out perfectly, there's $3. Okay. I also know I trade the 5-minute time frame. I know that on Tesla, there's an ATR, an average true range on Tesla between 80 cents and $1.50. Okay. So if I'm going to use a 1-bar stop or a stop under my 20, on my entry, 20 SMA, I know that I'm going to risk about $1 to $1.50, maybe $2 on Tesla. So if I can make $1.50, $2 on Tesla, I'm out. So I look to take, if I'm taking 10, just to make this very clear, if I take 10 contracts, let's say I'm playing calls, if I take 10 contracts on Tesla and I get into my entry based on my setup and it goes up $1 quickly, I don't care if it goes up $1 in 10 seconds or $1 in 10 minutes. If I make $1, I'm out. Half size. I'll hold the runners. If I get $1.50, I'm out a couple more. If I get $2, I'm out everything. The same thing for NVIDIA. So if I'm in NVIDIA and I get $1 fast, I'm out half size. And then I scale on every new high. If I'm playing something like Meta and I can take 80 cents $1 from entry, I'm out. If I can get $1.50 on Meta, I'm out. So I know that's a little bit differently, because it's trading options. You really don't know how much your premium's going to move. But I've traded these names so much, I know how much more or less I'm going to make on my position sizing. For example, I made $400 taking $1 off of 10 contracts on Meta. That's about right. That's about right. And it'll be about the same on Tesla and NVIDIA. So if I can get $1 on 10 contracts, I know I'm going to make anywhere between $400 and $600. And if I give up $1, right? If it goes against me, I give up $1, $1.50, I'm going to lose what? $400, $500, $600. And I just keep it like that. I keep it like that. Keep it like that. So for example, on the NVIDIA, because it was super expensive today, I only took 4 contracts to kind of negate my risk. That was a $500 trade there, and the Meta was a $450 trade there. So that's $900. Again, I mean, come on, come on, guys. I'm not like a rocket scientist. Like, where can I go where I can make $500 in a day or $600 in a day? Like, you have to really think about it. So that's why, I really take this shit serious. Because it's like, I understand, I'm not really doing anything special here. I'm not saving lives. I'm not doing heart surgery. I'm not out rescuing people. I'm not fucking in the military. I'm not like a lawyer. I'm just a regular dude with a skill set, but I understand the potential, right? So again, I'm still looking at my runners here on Meta. Again, entry was here over the first hour's highs. I took profits fully into this supply zone, which I don't even know what it is. This supply zone is the 150 simple. So that was at 295.50s. We've broken that, and we're trading up to next supply. So I'm looking to sell my profits at 296 here on these metas, 2 contracts. So let me make a quick point here. Even if you have a very small account and you can only afford, let's say $400, right? And you bought 2 contracts of meta over 293.75, which was your first hour's highs, and it never gave us a reason to get out, we would still be in this. You would be up 205, 210. I'm looking at the screen here on the left-hand screen where I do my executions. 210 on 2 contracts. You made $100 a contract. That's a hell of a day. That's a hell of a day. I tell anyone, if you're starting off with a small account, if you can make $80, $50 in a day, keep doing that. You'll make 100. When you can make $100 in a day, you'll have days where you can do this. 2 contracts, guys, $400 can make you $200. These contracts are up 32%. 32% return on your investment. What bank in fucking America is going to give you 32% on your investment in an hour? I can't even give the bank any money for them to give me anything back. Works on a 50% win rate to be profitable. Yeah, so I hit it about 60%. Yeah, so definitely, I mean, no, honestly, you can hit, like, in all fucking seriousness, I have buddies who have big accounts, right? Like guys I traded with, that I learned with, they got big accounts. Like I'm not even a blip on the map as far as account sizes, but they hit like at a 30% and they're still profitable, brother. 30%. Because the wins, when they go in, because of the way that I trade, right, with using these kind of all of this shit, right, like just to play into the narrative here, the spaghetti chart that I'm using. If you have a good setup here, you can 2R, 3R, 4R, 5R your stop, right? Like if you're giving up 1 bar and you're like, if you're giving up $1 worth of risk, let's say on meta, $1.25 risk on meta, and you get $2, like look at what's going on here with the current play that I'm in. 293.83. Okay, let's call it 294, and it's trading at 296.50. That's $2.50. So if I'm only planning on risking $1.25, because that would be my stop, I just made $2.50 and I only risked about $1. Make sense? So when you talk about Tesla, sometimes you're risking $1.50, $2. Yeah, it's a lot scary. Ooh, but sometimes that son of a bitch goes $3 or $4 or $5, and you only risk $1.50 on it. So yeah, you don't necessarily need to even be 50% profitable. You could be 25% hit rate and be profitable. So never believe anyone that'll sell you the dream about 100% hit rate, 90% hit rate. If you're not hitting at 80%, that's all bullshit. I'm telling you, it's all bullshit. Maybe if you're looking to you take a strategy where you're going to take 10 cents. Maybe you're coming in with 1,000 shares and looking for 10-cent pops. Maybe you can have a 70-80% hit rate. But I mean, I'm looking for dollars. Like, I look for dollars. Do you know most scalpers are looking for 10, 15, 20 cents? Do you know that? Like your professional trader, like a professional trader, they're looking for 20 cents, 30 cents. They're not looking for fucking $4 or $5. We're taking dollars out of this market. But again, we're also playing with a lot smaller size. That's the argument. You're not going to see me putting up $1 million in a trade and risking, a fucking dollar on it. So I get it, right? Like, they have to keep risk very, very small. But when you're regular retail guys like us who are doing this, whether you're doing this full time or you're working towards doing this full time or you do it part time, fuck. I mean, you can make a decent living, bro. Make a decent living. Yeah, I'm getting out of this because 1, I'm getting fucking thirsty here. 2, so I'm taking profits on the last 2 runners here on meta, up $180. Up $180 on 2 contracts. Again, That's why I tell everyone, man. I tell everyone that comes into the room at Evolution Traders when they get started, they're like, oh, I want to make all this money. It's like, start off making $100. Like, do that 3 or 4 times a week. You know, if you make like $100 like 3 times a week, you know, that's an extra $1,200 in your bank account every single month. You know, some people might say, well, I can't live off $1,200. Yeah, but I hope you're still working. Like, I'd hope you're still working, or you're generating some income. So for those of you guys who are trading on the side, what would an extra $1,000 a month do for you? Because I know what it would do for me. You know, if I was just starting out, $1,000 would definitely pay for my internet bill. It definitely help pay for my health insurance. It definitely pay for my car insurance. It'd pay, you know, these fucking car notes that I got, right? Pay for my cell phone bill. $1,000, you know, might pay for a plane trip somewhere and a good dinner on a vacation, right? $1,000 will do a lot. Maybe the next month you do 1,500, then you do 2,000. It's gradual baby steps. Everyone wants to jump into the market and make $10,000 on their first trade. It's just not going to happen. And everyone who did do that, you know, in 2020 and 2021, they're gone. I was around back then. I was on YouTube back then. Like I was on, you know, I had the Discord back then. Like I was around when I would see guys come in that were doing stupid shit, holding contracts overnight, you know, $3,000 in this small cap player, this meme player, this, you know, growth stock, coming back the end of the week, I'm up 10 grand, 15 grand. They're gone. They're not here anymore. If you're still here, you're struggling. Like you're hurting bad, right? Like you are hurting bad. There's very few percentage of those people who got lucky, not knowing what the hell they're doing, riding the wave, that actually learned what they're doing. Very small percent. I would say 5%. And if you are one of those people who was able to actually take something away from that point in time, build up your account and actually learn how to trade, you're set for life. However, if you never really learn the right way to trade and you never really learn the right way to use your edge and to master your emotions, and you made a lot of money and you gave it all back, you've kind of just been spinning your wheels in the dirt. You're breaking even. You've lacked confidence. You don't trust the market. It's always someone else's fault. It's always this. It's always that. Like you're worried about FOMC. You're worried about interest rates. You're worried about what this is going on. Fuck all that shit. It's all on the charts anyways. If we don't like jobs numbers, the chart's going to tell us it's going to break through a level of supply or demand. If the charts love it, it's going to break through a level of supply or demand. Like I don't need, you know, the news to tell me, you know, what the market thinks about the market. The market's going to tell me first what it thinks about the market. The only people who care about that stuff are people who are trying to outsmart the market. You're trying to guess. Well, I think inflation numbers are going to be fucking good this month, so I think the market's going up. Guess what happens? You get blown out. Market sells off on your ass. Like it's like, come on, you know, it doesn't just react to what's going on in front of you, and you'll do a lot better. Like I'm probably one of the most realist. Like I'm like a realist in a sense where, like, you know, I don't know what's going on. I don't think half the people that even at the top know what the hell's going on. So let's just try to make money where we can make money, right? Let's not try to guess. That's it. Let's not guess what's going on here. Anyone trade anything today? Maybe some of you guys who just stepped in, did anyone trade anything today? I haven't really been going through the charts because the levels that we had confirmed, and you know, we should have made money. But did anyone take anything else? I know we had guys in the room at Evolution. They took AMD was played today to the long side. Tesla was played to the long side. Nvidia and Meta were played to the long side. I'm waiting on my futures guys to let me know if they got that long entry. But the 44.25 was a great. It went to 44.40s, guys. We've seen that even if you came into the live stream late, even in the pre-market, I was saying that if we could get over this level of supply here, We're going to the 40s, 30s, 40s, 30s, 40s. Why? It's right here in front of our face. Like, can everyone see this? You see these two yellow lines here? If we break this, we're going here. If we never get there, we're going to get stopped out. There's nothing else that's going to happen. So what are we scared of, right? If we break it, we never make it, we're getting stopped out. So what? But if we break it and the market wants to go, where are we going to gravitate towards? The next area of supply. Took NQ twice for a small scalp. Yeah, I know. That's the way it is though, bro. I mean, that's the way it is. You know, we always, like, I wish I had NVIDIA, right? Real quick, you know, look at the NVIDIA, right? I got in at 463 and this son of a bitch traded to 467 and I sold it at 465. So I lost on $2. That's the way it goes. But hey, as long as you made money, that's it. You know, don't get FOMO, don't start chasing it. Don't say, oh man, I lost out and oh, well, I can take more. That's okay. It's okay. Because guess what? I say this all the time. This market has been here before us. It's going to be here after us. There's going to be another trade set up tomorrow. There's going to be another trade set up in a few hours. There's always another time to make money. So forget about it. You made money. That's all that fucking matters. You did a fucking good job. Again, you know, excuse my friends for some of you guys who don't, you know, who don't go with the cussing and stuff, but I shoot from the hip and it is what it is. But yeah, you know, I mean, it's great. It's great. Great day. Any day we can come into this market and pull money out, whether it's, I don't care if it's $20 or it's $2,000 or it's $2 million. Any day you can come in and do this is a great day. Because guess what? We get the same opportunity to do it again tomorrow. And we're going to get the same opportunity to do it again the next day and the next day and the next day. Now it's all about compounding. Look at a long-term investor. They got a 10, 20, 30-year horizon. So do we as day traders. Only difference is we're looking to take a small piece of that pie each and every single day while limiting our down risk. While a long-term investor may sit in a position that's down for, you know, a quarter, we might be down a day or two and then we bounce right back. No, I'm done. So for today, you know, I'm done on the day trading personally. I have no reason to really trade anymore. I'm not really looking to make $1 million in a day. I'm not these guys who are going to sit here 8 hours a day and trade all day. I'm definitely in my room in the Discord helping out guys if they have any questions, if they're in any active trades. So I'm definitely around the charts, but I'm not actively trading anymore. As far as the live stream, so this is the first time I've done it a few times, but a lot of the guys in Evolution Traders want this live webinar each and every single morning to kind of go over the charts in real time. So I'm keeping it exclusive to them. I'm just opening it up to everyone on YouTube for right now to kind of just, you know, get everything situated, make sure that the stream's running right and comment sections are working and, you know, everyone can see exactly what I'm looking at. But yeah, I do trade daily, and normally I'm done within the first 2 hours. Like I tell my guys, if I didn't really make anything in the first 2 hours of the market, I'm probably sitting on my hands the rest of the day. And even if I love something coming out of lunch hour, you know, if I like something coming out of lunch hour, I'm going to love it tomorrow. So I'd rather just trade it tomorrow. But the way that this market moves, like if we can't take a trade and make money in the first 2 hours, why? Like if we weren't thinking long today, why? Right? Like I came in with a short bias. Like my watch list was, I think 60% short just because of the levels looked better to the short side. But immediately 30 minutes after the bell, I flipped to long bias. And what did I need to have happen? I needed that hour candle close long. I need the hour candle to close green, and then I need the confirmation. And that's exactly what you know I was trying to implement to the guys in the room today. So you can, that's another thing too. You can come in with an idea, you can come in with a bias, but if you can't flip the script and go the opposite way, it's also going to hurt you. I don't know what time you came into the room, John, but I mean, like, yeah, like on the Nvidia trade, I was looking at the level live, yeah, and I called it out. And same thing with Meta and the NQ, right? So like I forgot if you answered if you trade I think you do trade futures, right? Yeah, you took NQ. Yeah, so for example, John, so look at the room here. Look at the room here. ES 4425 long needs to confirm 6:59 was posted in the morning. So I'm in California, so 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. NQ 1518 long needs to confirm top of the hour candle. So let's, you know, if you look at the NQ 1518 long, that's the level. And I was calling it out here too as well on the live stream, but 1518 was here, right? Let me bring it back. We go to the 1 hour, right? So what I'm looking at, look at the first hour candle, right? Look at the first hour candle was 15104. But if we look at yesterday's highs, 15118 needs to confirm. Well, yeah, like the stops is all based on the strategy, bro. So, you know, 15118 was the entry today for this. So for my guys, so like, again, I trade with my team at Evolution Traders, so they know the way that I trade. We're using a 1 bar stop, brother, a 1 bar stop. So basically it's like this, right? I'll draw this out for you very, very quickly, and I get into this in detail with the guys that are in members over there. But if our entry candles here over the 15118, that's our entry. Why is it our entry? It's confirming first hour's highs, check mark. It's taking out yesterday's highs, check mark. That's enough fucking reason for me to get into the trade. Okay, I needed to confirm. What is confirming? This question gets asked a lot as well. If 15118 is the pivot, that means that's where I'm looking to get in. I need a new candle, whether you're trading the hour candles, you're trading a 5-minute candle, I don't care what time frame you're trading. That candle on that time frame needs to confirm, meaning it needs to take out 15118. As soon as it takes out that price, we're jumping in. So we're throwing our money into this candle here, and I believe this is 710 if my memory still corrects myself, right? Because I was watching this here with the guys and calling it out. So 710 in the morning Pacific Standard Time, 710, we're jumping into the 15118 breakout. What's our stop loss? You have a couple of stops. It can be any close below the 5 SMA, it can be any close below the 10 SMA on a 5-minute time frame, or your max pain is a 1 bar stop. Boom. That's your stop. So if our stop is here below our entry candle, look at what happens. We consolidate, we pop, we pull back, we never close below our 1 bar stop. We consolidate, boom, it runs. It runs. Consolidates, it runs. You see how that works? So again, here's where I have a big problem with a lot of times, you know, when I get people that join Evolution Traders and then we're going through creating a trading plan, you know, this and that, and building out the strategy for them, because everyone's strategy is different because everyone has a different account size. But the moral of the story is sometimes people come in, they're like, well, I have a 5-tick stop loss. I have a bracket order for, you know, 3 ticks and take profit at 8 ticks or whatever, you know. I have a stop loss for, you know, 4 handles. I'm like, but how do you know that you're not going to get stopped out? You want to know what happens to those people that come in here and they try to try to trade these markets with a hard stop like that, where you're like, well, I have a stop loss at 5 handles, but I have a take profit at 15 or whatever, right? I'm just making stupid shit up. But what happens is they'll get into the trade comes back down, wicks them out, stops them out, continues to go. No, I need confirmation. I need the candlesticks to tell me that this trade is over. How would my trade be over? If my 1 bar stop gets taken out, what does that mean? Let's say, for example, this candle closes below my 1 bar stop. Guess what happens? Mr. D, you're out. You're out of the trade. Bye. Sad face. Okay, move on. Find another trade. Right? So as this trade starts to work, because we're getting into it here, right? As this trade starts to work, what you can then do is trail it. You can trail your stop, and not in a traditional sense where you set a trailing stop, but a mental trailing stop, meaning I can use this 5 SMA, which is this green line you've seen. If I get a close under like I do here, okay, take my profits, right? Close under, take my profits, right? My entry's here. I'm still profitable on the day. Look at all that room, right? So you can do things like that It's called the art of trading. I keep my stop loss at 1% of account, determines how many contracts I buy. So you're trading futures. What are you trading? Micros or are you trading minis? I don't like you. For me personally, I don't really like using the whole 1%, 2% because it's like, it's so tough. It's so tough to manage it because you're managing it based on a percentage or a dollar amount. You're managing it on a percentage or a dollar amount, but like realistically, you're not even giving the chart enough time to work out. So like how you can manage it is by your position sizing. Let me ask you a question. How many micros do you trade? Like, let's say, for example, you're one of my traders, you're in the room. We're looking at the 1.5, 118 level long on NQ. How many micros are you trading? John, how many micros are you trading at a time? 2 contracts. Perfect. So you're risking around 80 bucks on a trade, right? Let's call it $100. Like you're risking less than $100 on a trade. Right? You're risking somewhere between, let's say, $60 and $100 per trade. Right? $160, yeah. So for example, on this particular setup here, let's see what your risk would have been, right? Based on the way that I trade. Again, everyone's trading is different. So based on the way I trade at 710, we're throwing our money. What time zone are you on so I could speak in your time zone? It just helps me better. What? Oh, you're in California. Perfect. So we're throwing our money into the 710 candle. If you're looking at the charts, look at the 5-minute chart. We would be throwing our money into that 710 candle. You see that? Okay. So we're throwing our money. We're getting long in the 7:10 a.m. candle. Our entry is somewhere around that 15,118 area, right? As we start to approach that 15,118 area, as soon as we take out the 15,118 area, 7:10 in the morning Pacific Standard Time, we're throwing our money in there. Okay. Our stop loss, John, our stop loss was here. Where the fuck's this candle at? Our stop loss was here. 15,097. So we risking 20 points. We risked 20 points on this trade. Does that make sense? Let me know if that would have made sense. If we're getting in at the 7:10 a.m. candle over 15,118, as soon as we confirm that price, we're going to set a 1-bar stop, meaning what's the low wick? Boom. That's a 20-point risk, right? So we already know here, what's our ATR on the NQ? 17.5 points. I'm looking at it down here on the bottom of my screen. I know you guys can't see it, but it's 17.5 handles on a 5-minute candle, meaning an average candle is going to move up and down, anywhere between 15 and 20 points, right? So a 20-point stop loss is fine, right? That's perfect. So we'll go ahead and we'll use that 20-point stop loss, right? 20-point stop loss. You're playing your 2 contracts. Now look at, we consolidate sideways, right? Where we really don't do anything. Maybe you're in a little bit of drawdown. You're in a little bit of drawdown here, maybe, 5, 6, 7 points, nothing much, but we're over our stop loss, right? We're still trading over our 5 SMA. And then if we just kind of count the candles here, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. If you would have held this trade for 30 minutes, because in all honesty, right, I'm going to blow this up here, and I'm going to blow this up so we can really see this, right? I want you guys to really see this so we can be clear. 15,118 needs to get confirmed. 7:10 candle here. We're throwing our money into this candle. We're getting long. Boom. We sit through consolidation. We sit through a little minor pullback. Where's our stop? Here's our stop, right? Look at the dotted line. That's our stop. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, right? No reason to ever get out of trade. Goes up to 15,158 from an entry price of 15,118. Let's say there's slippage. Let's say you get in at 15,120. That's a 38 handle move in 30 minutes. 38 handle move. Do the math on your 6 contracts. Let's say 30 points. 30.6 contracts. What's the math? Because I want to make a good point here. So 30 points, 6 contracts. What's the math? I'm shaving points for slippage. 360. Is that enough to stop on the day? Can we stop on the day with that? Would you stop on the day with that? $30-minute trade, you made $360. Never even got remotely close to putting you in drawdown. Never even stopped you out. You made $360 in 30 minutes. Goal is 500. Okay. So let's say you sell, let's say at 30 minutes, you sell half size to at least lock something in, right? We want to at least lock something in. So we sell half size. Okay. Let's give it another 5 minutes. Price is 75s from an entry price of 20s. It's 55 points, John. Waiting 5 more minutes. Do we see that? Would we have sold it to 75s for 50 points? Around 48 points? Done deal. That's it. That's what it's all about. I'm going to go to Starbucks now. I'm taking off, guys. I also want to make one last point, John. Let's say, for example, that $360 was the end of the road and you got stopped out. Let's say it came all the way back down. I don't know. Something happened in the market. You gave away all those profits. You're going to be more pissed off at yourself for not taking profits because you have a $500 goal. That, my friend, might cause you at some point in time in your career to overtrade and put yourself into drawdown. Again, having a goal is great. Doesn't have to hit your goal every single time. If you can make 300, 400 in a matter of 20, 30, 40 minutes, I would seriously consider stopping on a day. Take profits. Boom, you're up 360. Take half size off. Lock in something. Move your stop loss to, I don't know, break even. Right? Let it run after that. Moral of the story is you would have taken out probably close to 80 points if you would have let it run. Never gave us a reason to stop out. The only candle that I would have seriously considered stopping out of was here at 8:40 in the morning, John. Only reason, because we closed below the 5 in the 10-day moving average in one shot. I would have probably considered getting out of my position there. Yeah, and that's the thing. I deal with it later, 8 years later. It's so hard to hold. It's so hard once you see that green. So hard. So yeah, I have a goal too. I want to make $1,000 a day every day for 22 trading days. That'd be $22,000 a month. Right? Some days I've made more than $1,000. That's for damn sure. And some days I make less than $1,000. But if I have that goal in mind where like I gotta hold this until I hit, or I gotta trade until I hit 500, you will kick yourself in the ass more times than you won't. If you get into a move that was this clean in the morning, again, I posted it at 6:49 for my guys in the Evolution Traders Room. 6:49, I'm posting it in here. Let's watch that 15,118 level, guys. We confirm here. Boom, we take it out. We get through that level. If we can hold it, a little bit of consolidation, boom, we pop. Let's sell half size. Let's hold it 5 more minutes. Let's see what we do. Boom. Boom. Close below the 5. Let's get the hell out. Even at 69s, we would have gotten out. If we wanted to play it tight to the vest, we would have gotten out at the 69s, 64, 65s. From an entry price of the 20s, give it some slippage, right? A couple of handle slippages, I don't know. But that's 40 points. 40 points in an hour? All right, guys, that's it for me. I'm out. Overstayed my welcome here. But again, if you guys like this video, please do me a favor before I log off. I'm going to log off in about 30 seconds. Please hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. It would definitely help the YouTube algorithm get this live stream out when I do live stream again to more people. Also, if you guys need any training videos, guys, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I'm probably the hardest working technical analysis guy because I trade full time. I got nothing but time to sit here and make videos, right? I'm doing it anyways. I got over 2,000 videos, technical analysis breakdowns, trade recaps, strategies, pattern breakdowns, all this type of shit on my YouTube. Over 2,000 videos. Been doing this on YouTube now for about 3 years. Again, been trading for around 7.5. Also, if you guys need a little bit more help, maybe you guys want one-on-one coaching where we can actually sit down live in a closed setting, you know, get on a voice call, and you guys want to trade live, you guys want to break down your trades, you want to go over psychology, mindset, all that stuff. I offer all that stuff in Evolution Traders along with 3 of my courses. Also in the trading room with the rest of the community. Sometimes it helps just having people who are looking at the same things as you and being able to talk to them in real time about what you're doing and about what they're doing, so you guys can kind of see. Even myself, it helps having these guys who are experienced know what they're doing, because sometimes I'll be looking at a chart and I might miss something. Sometimes my eyes might be on Tesla and Amazon is absolutely exploding, right? And it helps for other people to kind of put your eyes on something. Sometimes you're in a trade and you're down, right? Let's say, for example, you're holding and hoping for a trade to come back in your favor, and someone kind of gives you that harsh dose of reality and lets you know, hey, this has hit your stop loss. We've lost a short-term trend. We've lost this moving average. Maybe it's a good time to get out. It can really, really save you on a mental level. Again, if you guys are interested in that, evolutiontraders.com. It's not a monthly reoccurring thing, right? Like that's not where my bread and butter comes from. But I am looking to, as I go into 2024, to get this trading team at Evolution Traders up to a point where, you know, a solid, and again, there's a lot of people in the room, but if I can get a solid 10 to 15, and right now I'm about halfway there, solid 10 to 15 people that absolutely know what they're doing, I've got big plans coming as far as getting some trading capital together and actually getting on the trading floor together with you guys, whether it be in person or, you know, on Zoom or through Discord voice, where we can actually, you know, all talk to each other in real time. That's the whole goal of mine, you know, is to grow this trading team so we can all make money together. Because again, if I'm making money, you should be making money. And if you're making money, well, I for damn sure better be making money on trades as well, right? Because if we all are looking at the same things, it will definitely help everyone in the long run. Again, see you guys all have a safe rest of the afternoon trading. Again, if you are green, seriously consider stopping on the day. Okay, stop on the day if you are green. Again, there's always another trading day tomorrow. See you guys all next time.